injured in an accident, you know it's no walk in the park. Car repairs, medical bills, and lost time from work all add up. And if the insurance company isn't paying their fair share, you have to cover the rest, even if it wasn't your fault. That's why you need an advocate. Call us today, and we'll do everything we can to get you moving again. Come on.
You deserve clear, risk-free advice to help get you back on your feet. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, live on your YouTube machine. Hell yes, it's Friday. 9 holes tonight, 18 holes tomorrow, 18 holes on Sunday. All by myself because some people have a leash on them.
Yeah, what a loser.
The Monty Show is always presented by The Advocates. TheAdvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Folks, I tell you every single day, I love working with The Advocates because they actually put their money where their mouth is. They care about the community. This is the last Giving Friday to get involved with the Advocates in the road home. This is the Venmo address. Get on it. It's as simple as I can put it. If you have $5, if you have $100 in your heart and in your bank account, send it on Venmo to the Advocates. Advocates donations on Venmo. Advocates donations on Venmo. Every penny goes to the Road Home, one of the foremost homeless advocacy groups in this country, who are working on behalf of homeless school children to give them the basic necessities they need to go to school. And I'm not talking about, the best tennis shoes, or I'm talking about a backpack. And I shared a story with you last week about how last year the Advocates were handing out backpacks and kids were reduced to tears over it because they had never had a backpack before. They had never been able to compete socially at school. And if you go to school with torn and tattered clothing, and we've talked about not having socks, not having underwear, not having the latest and the greatest, and then you don't have a backpack, let alone pencils, papers, pens, a calculator, I don't know, lunch to put inside of it. That's what we're talking about. Today is the day I need you to get involved. Advocates donations on Venmo. Make it happen. And I mean, seriously, folks, $5, $100, $1 million, whatever you can spare. One lucky listener today will win. Most of you are not going to win, Dick. Let's be honest let's just put it out there. Jake will spin on it for you if you want, because we have to talk about that girl today. Anyway, the point is most of you are going to win nothing.
Right.
One of you is going to win a $100 Amazon gift card today. Everybody asked us for those last week. That seems to be, there was more demand for the $100 Amazon gift card than there was for the Xbox we gave away, 2 weeks ago now? Which is what we gave away, an Xbox and a copy of NCAA 25.
Yeah.
There was so much more demand for the Amazon gift card. Can you just give me one anyways, bro?
No, we can't.
Make a donation to the Advocates. DM Jake on Instagram. SLC Jake on Instagram. Once you have made the donation, take a screenshot, and I need you to, the memo section, every week that we do donations on this show, the memo section always determines the winner. Now, if you're going to donate $1,000, you're probably winning the $100 Amazon gift card. It's just a suggestion. Yeah. But hey, if you've got a $5 donation and you make a ha-ha funny in the memo section and you say Monty Show Kids and then be funny about it, you're probably upping your chances. If you make a $25 donation and you don't leave a memo, your chances are less than the guy who made $5 and left a funny memo.
Just saying.
Advocates donations. Send Jake the screenshot. Let's do some Friday morning shout outs. Mountain Mama, spit on it. So before we get to the Lauri Markkanen nonsense, and I'm sure you're all here for it, Do you understand how much this girl has made? There are estimates that she's now made $3 million off of her viral, and I'm never going to say the words, off of her viral thing. She's made $3 million. She's turned down Playboy, Hustler, and OnlyFans. And she made a video yesterday about her grandmother. I actually thought it was funny because her grandmother didn't know what that phrase that she's so famous for actually meant.
Right.
It warms my heart that Kamala slept her way to the top of the political totem pole.
Right.
And yet this girl who wants to spit on it is a superstar. It warms my heart. The overwhelming idiocy of this country is amazing to me.
Yep.
San Diego State Glenn, La Morning. No. Real Pete Forte. Is there a fake Pete Forte? Good morning. Hello. No, Monty, no. Please don't let bad man talk about trading Mark.
Right.
Mark Hales, hello. Do they want to? No. Do they need to for a hope at a better future? Yes. Will the future bring forth a championship? Probably not. Probably not. No, probably not. I would agree with that. My tie time, not soon enough. Not soon enough. I have the Friday night 9 holes with Mrs. Morty tonight. It's going to be amazing. La Golf has been awesome. You know. Gage Carter, my Dar used the advocates after he had an accident and got a good settlement. Really? So you mean your dad? Like, no, seriously, Gage Carter, what did you mean?
Oh, yeah, I think he meant his dad.
You meant your dad, I think. And you guys, no matter where you're listening to this show, I am telling you that the advocates, beyond being really good injury attorneys at home, if you get hurt in a car accident, a motorcycle accident, if you get hurt on the job, they're excellent. And the thing I always tell you is please don't trust your insurance companies. They're not fighting for you. They're not working on your behalf. I understand Flo from Progressive is amazing. She don't give two shits about you when you get in an accident.
Yeah.
Right? I am just telling you. You need an advocate. That's why they name themselves the advocates, because they're going to fight on your behalf. So, Gage, I'm glad to hear that. I hope everything turned out okay. LFG, hello. MVP Curry, I'm being honest. This is coming from a Warriors fan who wants Lauri. Joe Lacob and Mike Dunleavy are wasting Utah's time. It's not looking too good for the Warriors as of right now. Well, let's get into it a little bit because I do think it's interesting. Do the Utah Jazz want to trade Lauri Markkanen? And this has been bandied about. It's been discussed multiple times. If the Jazz had their way, they would not. But it is very clear that Lauri Markkanen does not fit into their financial future. And if you are new to this show and you've not heard what we've talked about with the Jazz and Lauri Markkanen, a quick synopsis is the Jazz are in not spending money ever mode. Ryan Smith, the owner of the Jazz, is supposedly a billionaire. I think that's on paper and in dreams. He is a guy that just bought a hockey team, heavily invests in BYU sports, and wants to tell you that he was a big part of the Olympics coming to Utah. Ryan Smith is not a guy that wants to spend money on this basketball team. Since he bought the team, point to me the contract where he gave somebody a max, where he extended somebody and paid them a significant amount of money. Jordan Clarkson, we've talked about this, and Jordan Clarkson was extended. And it's an absolute anvil around their neck right now.
Yep.
Because as Andy Larson in the Salt Lake Tribune reported, confirming what we've reported, Jordan Clarkson has no trade value.
Facts.
And you are stuck with him coming off of one of his most mid-normal, not very good seasons that we've seen out of Jordan Clarkson, who's a fantastic sixth man, but wants to be a starter. Ryan Smith, the owner of the Jazz, has made mistake after mistake. And this organization for the last several decades has lived on, hey, dude, look at all our trade assets and look at all our draft capital and look how much cap space we have. and they have rarely, if ever, done very much with it at all. And you look at, especially since Ryan Smith bought this team, he did not do a Donovan Mitchell extension. He did approve the Rudy Gobert contract, but that was done before he bought the team from Gail Miller. Ryan Smith doesn't want to spend money. So now you fast forward to Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen is due for a renegotiation and an extension. He is making $18 million. This coming season, he needs to be paid at least, and I believe the number is $33.8 million in order to qualify for his largest available extension. The Jazz are not going to pay him $40 million a year on a 5-year deal. They're not paying Lauri Markkanen $200+ million. That's not happening. And it'll be interesting to see what happens here. What I have reported and what I have confirmed almost day after day. And I talked to a Jazz source yesterday who told me the Jazz, I think, would rather do business with the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs have better draft capital for the 2025 NBA draft and Cooper Flagg than the Golden State Warriors do. To make a trade happen, the Golden State Warriors have to find a third team. And I was told yesterday by multiple NBA sources that the Golden State Warriors have not been able to go out and find a third team to make a deal, most notably to take the contract of Andrew Wiggins so that they can afford to extend Lauri Markkanen. They have not been able to do that. There is some conjecture about what the Jazz want in return from the Golden State Warriors. I was told yesterday that the Jazz are very much on the Podziemski bandwagon, and I was told multiple times that Golden State would rather trade Moody instead of Podziemski, that the Lakers do not want to trade Jonathan Kuminga, and they view Pods as a guy that they can have into the future. I don't know that that's enough to get a deal done. Moses Moody and a bunch of protected draft picks is not going to get you Lauri Markkanen, because as I have reported and now multiple national sources have picked up what I reported 10 days ago, the Jazz value quality in draft picks, not simply any old draft pick. They are aiming to, if they are going to trade Lauri Markkanen, they are going to do everything they can do to get Cooper Flagg. And why wouldn't you? If you're going to give up on a guy like Lauri Markkanen, and I think the other name that you've got to pay attention to on this Jazz roster is Colin Sexton. And I continue to talk about this. And you are starting to see, like Tony Jones from The Athletic yesterday in a Twitter conversation, mention the fact that, Colin, I believe it was Tony said Colin Sexton's available. I've been telling you that for how long? That Colin Sexton's available. That the contract of Jordan Clarkson is not tradable at this point. The Jazz have put themselves in an unenviable position somehow, some way. And that is now that your best player, inarguably, is Lauri Markkanen. Yet you are in a spot where you don't have a whole lot of dance partners because A, your asking price is exorbitant. B, you are asking for unprotected 2025 first-round picks that project to the lottery. That's what you are asking for. And you're in this position where you don't really value a whole lot of the talent that San Antonio has on their roster. Keldon Johnson is a guy that we've reported on this show that the Jazz do not value. Clearly, they do not value him the way they value Pods or Kuminga in Golden State. But if you can't get Pods or Kuminga, do you want Moody or do you want Keldon Johnson? I think that's a very interesting question because I don't think either one projects to be a top 5 player on a championship roster. I just don't see it that way, and NBA sources tend to agree with me on that. So, Jake, I think the Jazz very much want to trade Lauri Markkanen if they can get what they believe is fair value for him.
Well, that's always been the discussion with the Jazz is what's fair value. And whether it's, this Lauri Markkanen trade or any of the other trades that they've done or other situations that they found themselves in, it seems like the valuation of what the Jazz are going to get in return seems to hold up the deal. And I think that we've seen this play out. Like the Jordan Clarkson situation, like they had opportunities to trade Jordan Clarkson before the extension situation came up and all that. I mean, there was plenty of talk about, hey, he wants to go to a championship contender. And like, so we've seen this story play out with the Jazz before. And I just think that you cannot, if you're the Utah Jazz, get into a situation where you don't trade Lauri and then you can't come to an agreement on an extension with Lauri because you're not willing to give him the money this upcoming season, right? That he needs, 35 or 33.8. You're not willing to give him that money so that he can go and get a max, because that's exactly what I think is worst case scenario for the Jazz. Hey, we couldn't get a trade done. We're really sweating giving, Markkanen the money this year so then he can go out and get that extension. And then ultimately what happens? That disenfranchises a guy like Markkanen, and they wind up going to other teams in free agency. I mean, we've seen this play out time and time again in the NBA, and it would not even be remotely surprising to me if that were to happen here. But I do think that the Jazz don't want to lose the opportunity to bring in all this draft capital. I think that that's what they value right now. They want to, build the war chest, and they want to go big game hunting, and they want to do these things. And I'm fine with it. But I just think that right now, what is today? The 26th, I believe it is. Like, you've still got about a week or so here to play with before you really start feeling the pressure of that August 6th deadline getting here. And really, it's August 5th, that deadline getting here. So, to me, I think this deal still gets done. I think it really comes down to what the Warriors can get done with a third team, because if they don't have a great third team helping them get this deal done, then I think you'll see the Jazz go with San Antonio.
Yeah, what do we think of Keldon Johnson? Because this is a conversation that I'm having more and more about. Do the Jazz value Keldon Johnson the way that most, I don't know, fans, observers of the Spurs? Like, there is a belief that Keldon Johnson is either really good or just an average ass player. I think it's somewhere in the middle. He lost his starters minutes last year, which I mean, I understand when you're building around a guy like Victor Wembanyama, you're going to make changes. You have to find the best fit. I don't believe, and this is just my opinion, I do not believe that Keldon Johnson is a guy where you're like, wow, this is a generational player. He's not that.
Yeah.
He does not have, and this I guess is debatable as well, he does not have the Kuminga upside, right? I mean, I think we're all kind of in the same spot on that. But you look at his numbers, and he's a guy that only started 27 games last year. He shoots the three well at 36% for his career. But when you take 1.5 less threes a game, you would expect your percentage to go up. It did last year. Is he a guy that's a bench player? Because it's not like his numbers paint that picture. I mean, he dropped 7 points last year, but he got fewer opportunities as a starter, and Victor Wembanyama is now the focal point of that offense. So you would expect everybody to eat less.
Mm-hmm.
So is he the guy that 2 years ago was not as efficient as you'd like at 22 points, 5 rebounds, 3 dimes, but he only shoots 45% from the floor? Is that a guy that you value, taking 5 less shots a game? And his percentage overall did not change 1 iota. I don't think so. I don't believe, and I think I've heard this from Jazz sources for 2 weeks now. I don't believe the Jazz view him in the same light as a Podziemski or a Kuminga. And I agree with that assessment.
Well, I think that Podziemski and Kuminga are more polished players already, and they have higher upside.
I would agree.
But at the same time, and this is maybe the reality check that the Jazz need to go through as an organization. I don't know, but like, if you're getting a trade done where, let's say, Podziemski comes to you, are you going to be able to turn him into an all-star level point guard? Because that's the value, right? Are you going to be able to turn, Moody into more than what he is now, or Kuminga, or Keldon Johnson. Because that's my issue. I don't have
that's a great point.
I don't have a ton of faith.
That's a great point.
Like, we're sitting here trying to pick these guys apart and say who's got the bigger upside. And I haven't seen the Jazz turn one guy into an all-star. Like Donovan Mitchell, it was obviously an all-star, and Rudy had his all-star appearances, but I don't feel like we saw these guys take huge jumps in their time with the Jazz. I mean, Rudy was always going to be an elite rim protector. The guy rolled out of bed being able to block a shot, man. Like, it's not like you taught this dude how to rim run. The dude knew how to do that. Like, instinctually as a basketball player, he's got that in him. You didn't get more out of him. And whether it's Rudy, whether it was Don,
I think you have to give the Jazz credit for turning Rudy into an elite defensive player. The limitations on Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, that was the issue. And I agree with you on that. So if you bring in a Kuminga, Jonathan Kuminga really works in a run and gun offense. In a methodical half-court set, is Jonathan Kuminga the best option? Not right now. And if you bring him to Salt Lake City, does Jonathan Kuminga project to be a guy who you can say, man, I'm going to build an offense around that guy? I don't think he does. But if you're running and gunning, if you're playing summer league style basketball, Jonathan Kuminga is a guy you want on your team. If Jonathan Kuminga is your second best player in a smaller lineup, you want him on your team. I just don't think those are the lineups that win championships. I look at the way that Boston plays. Boston's got three really good guards, but I also think their bigs really made a difference for them. The Porzingises of the world, the Al Horfords of the world. And I don't believe that Jonathan Kuminga, and I use Boston because they won a championship, is Jonathan Kuminga ever on par with Tatum, Brown? Is he ever the contributor that Derek White is, regardless of position? I'm talking about contributing to a team.
Mm-hmm.
Does he ever make the Al Horford type contribution on a championship team? I don't believe that he does. So I look at Podziemski and I say to myself, well, Pods is a different kind of player. I think he projects to be a really good three-point shooter. I think he can be an on the ball point guard. And I think that you look at the way that he benefits from playing next to Steph Curry. Does he benefit the same playing next to Keontae George?
No.
Well, clearly not. But can they grow together? Clearly they can. And maybe I'm the blind guy, but I've argued with NBA sources about this. I think Keontae George projects to be a solid two guard on a team like the Jazz for the next 5 years. I have no idea if he turns into a guy that can be one of your starting two guards on a championship team. I don't know that Key ever turns into that guy. But if you put a really good point guard, which he's never played with in his short time with the Jazz, if you put another guard next to him that has the skill set and the projection that a guy like Pods has, Keontae George is a significantly better player. And I think that's why you value Podziemski so much more than Kuminga, because I think Kuminga has a very low ceiling. Podziemski has a very high ceiling.
And by the way, if you're trying to go after Cooper Flag, doesn't Pods make a lot more sense?
It does. It does. And I think you look at, if you're trying to go after Cooper Flag, does Keldon Johnson make a lot of sense?
No.
And I also think this is why we need to go back on the Jazz to what's the rest of this roster look like? What does, if we look at the Colin Sextons of the world, if we look at, you think
Taylor
about
Hendricks, Cody Williams,
but I'm more talking about the veterans. I'm more talking about guys like a Jordan Clarkson.
Right.
What do you do with John Collins? What value do those guys have to this current incarnation of this team?
Well, I don't know that they have huge value because, again, this goes back to the direction conversation. It's hard for me to answer the question of what value does John Collins have because I don't know what direction you're heading. We're talking about the Jazz making a deal where you're sending out the best player on your team and you're going to get a B player back, and a bunch of draft capital, which I'm fine with on its face. The premise of that is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But ultimately, when you look at, okay, well, what's the aftermath of that deal? Lauri's gone. You've got, pods or, I don't think they do a deal that involves Keldon Johnson, but let's say it was Keldon Johnson. Like you've got that secondary player and a bunch of draft capital on this current roster. So what does that turn into? Okay, well, that turns into, now we've gone full into accepting that the young guys are going to play the lion's share of the minutes and we're going to be bad. And that's where I want the Jazz to kind of lean into that and say, hey, you know what? Like we're in a point in the rebuild arc, if you will, where we need to get these guys minutes. We need to kind of water these plants and see which ones grows the quickest.
But here's the unspoken truth about this trade from the Utah side. You're going to be irrelevant in this town. Because I do believe that the Utah Utes are going to compete for a college football playoff spot. I think BYU is going to be incredibly relevant. I think the Utah Hockey Club is going to outshine the Utah Jazz for the entirety of the season.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be irrelevant. You are going to be a zero in this town. And if you make the Markkanen trade, there's at least a little excitement. If you don't make the Markkanen trade, you're flatlined. Because the truth is, I don't believe you can come to camp with the roster you have now because it does not fit your financial model. It just doesn't. And I think you are seeing, what is it today? The 26th. We're 10 days away from full swing football in this town.
Yeah.
And you then look at the NFL, which is already in camp. Do you guys understand that yesterday was the last Thursday without football on TV until February? You're already coming into that. This Jazz team has very little currency in the local market. This Markkanen trade is the only thing fans are hanging on to. And the excitement I think Jazz fans would be far more excited if you made the Keldon Johnson better draft picks, more access to Cooper Flagg, than if you made a Golden State trade and you wind up with Moody and some really limited picks.
Right.
I think if you are the Jazz, you need to go all in on Cooper Flagg. You need to go all in on Cooper Flagg.
And I just don't know what other move you have. I mean, what else are you going to do? What else is what is the next step for the Jazz moving forward? Because I feel like a lot of people ask us that, like, well, what are they trying to do? Like, I know they're trying to trade Markkanen, but where do you go from there? And I think that's what everybody's trying to figure out. What are you guys doing after that? Because again, it's this whole thing where we've already seen the young guy weirdness start to play out with Walker Kessler. Like the idea that this guy was sitting on the bench for all that time is wild to me. Like this guy is good. This guy can play. He is a great rim runner. He needs to work on setting picks, but he's getting better at that. He's a great rebounder. Like he can impact the game, yet he's sitting on the bench. And so if you're going to make this deal and you're going to bring other guys in, I just, what's the priority for the dudes that are already here? Because if you have Kuminga on your roster, that's going to affect dudes like Taylor Hendricks. That's going to affect Cody Williams, And that's where I say, maybe Keldon Johnson isn't the, everyone's, cup of tea, but ultimately I would rather give all those minutes to the young guys on your team. Whether you trade them or whether they're here is almost doesn't matter. You just need them to get better so you have options.
I would be playing Taylor Hendricks and Cody Williams every minute possible.
Yeah.
I would. If I were the Jazz, I would have traded John Collins already if they have not tried. I would never have extended Jordan Clarkson. That's where your owner meddled in the soup and
messed it up.
I think you screwed it up.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to wind up getting very little. If Sexton and Markkanen are not here and you do not have an unprotected first-round pick that's lottery, that can reach the lottery, the Donovan Mitchell trade was a complete bust. Because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That is what we're talking about. The Jazz need more unprotected first-round picks for 2025. They don't need top 12 protected. They don't need lottery protected. They need unmolested draft picks for the 2025 draft.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. Let's see where we're at. I see there's an argument going on about why we're talking basketball versus football. If you want football talk, come back another day. Or wait 32 minutes and we'll talk about Debo, Aiyuk, and CeeDee Lamb. But this happens all the time on this show. And maybe it's just because we have a lot of new people that have come to the channel. I don't know. We always talk football on this show. And I love when idiots get in the comment section like, dude, you need to talk football. You need to go find another show because we're going to talk about what we want to talk about. We're going to talk about what is most appealing to our fan base. Of the 108,000 people that subscribe to this show, 70-something thousand of them are in Utah. So I'm going to say that the Jazz trading Lauri Markkanen is a really significant part of our audience.
Yeah.
And when you look at the performance on the channel, what performs better, football or Lauri Markkanen trade talk? Thank you. Thank you for answering my question. As you were. Mike Smith also says, I like when they change up the wardrobe. Finally, somebody competent.
Dude, I love the shirt, bro. I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of this shirt.
Yeah, it highlights how fat I am, though. And as much as, it was really interesting. You guys probably don't give two about this. I went to the driving range yesterday and I was trying to. Shut up. I was trying to. We went to the driving range yesterday. And I was trying to figure out what baseball hat to wear.
Yeah.
I just got a new Boston Red Sox hat because, when in Boston. I didn't want to sweat through that.
Yeah.
But my Cubs hats, I have really long hair right now. I need to get a haircut. My Cubs hats have not been comfortable. I put a Cubs hat on yesterday that's like a bucket. And I don't know. I don't think I've said this to many people, but I've actually completely given up meat here recently. Like I've had some fish. I had sushi the other day. I had some chicken parm in Boston last weekend, but I have not had a kibble of meat this week. Not one. And it's really weird the way that it changes your body. Like it is bizarre to me, other than the massive calf cramp I had in the middle of the night last night. It is bizarre to me how much more effectively my body works when I don't eat meat. Like, I am not tired almost at all. Like yesterday, it was really strange. I haven't been eating the normal amount of, I eat a cup of oats. I've cut my oat down to like half to 3/4 of a cup now. I'm not nearly as tired in the morning. Like, it's crazy. All I'm saying is, if you look at how much meat you're eating and the quality of meat you're eating, I'm telling you, you will lose weight. You will thin out. It is crazy.
Yeah.
The way that works. It is absolutely crazy. Brandon Butler, hello. He won the Xbox 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. How's the Xbox, dude? Are you enjoying it? Like,
so we did a little different thing when we gave Brandon the Xbox 2 weeks ago, I think it was. We didn't physically hand him an Xbox. We bought an Xbox on Amazon and sent him a link. And we bought a pre-ordered copy of NCAA Football 25 and sent him a link. Has he ever opened the link? Brandon, did you ever get the link for the game? Like, Brandon almost immediately, I saw Amazon tells me, hey, Brandon Butler, your gift was redeemed. I don't think Brandon Butler ever redeemed the college football NCAA 25 game.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I thought he did. I mean,
I'm curious how that process went.
Yeah. I mean, Brandon, if you want to enlighten us, that would be great.
Brandon Butler loved the Xbox, barely got the NCAA game. Okay. Mike Smith, I just had a 16-ounce steak on Wednesday. Hell yeah, I love steak. Oh my God. Calford, sugar is my vice. So we get a farm the table box every Wednesday. What did I have for dinner last night? I went to the driving range. I had turkey. I had a turkey sandwich for lunch yesterday.
Yeah.
I had a turkey cranberry sandwich on sourdough. My wife got it for me. But we get these boxes. Last night for dinner, I had roasted potatoes, pan-seared green beans. They're the best green beans I think I've ever had. My wife made them. And I had some rice with that. It was spectacular. It was absolutely spectacular. And the nuke I'm going to drop after the show will demonstrate that.
Yeah, you used to be a low glycemic guy before bed. High protein, low carb. And I feel like that's changed for you a little bit.
I don't like eating dinner.
Yeah. Well, you don't like eating breakfast either, it seems like.
I'm weird with food.
Yeah.
I'm weird with it. I need to lose weight. It's as simple as that. My blood works great. I have perfect cholesterol, perfect A1C. Like, I'm really healthy. I'm getting my thumb in the butt on the 1st of August. My yearly physical. And I guarantee you it's going to be the same conversation I've had every year. Man, you're in really good health, but you're fat. Try losing some weight. All right, see you next year. That's it. That's the whole fucking conversation. Every single year I get a physical. 2 years ago, it was, hey, we need to, colorectal that ass. We need you to go and get a colonoscopy. You guys, if you're long times on this show, remember that. Had a perfect colon, no polyps, nothing. Was awesome. That butthole is healthy. But what does my doctor say to me every single year?
Yeah.
Hey, fat ass, lose some weight. All right, see you next year. And I'm really, knock on wood, I'm really fortunate. I feel really, I'm truly fortunate. I am so grateful I'm healthy. But I've got to lose body fat percentage. And I really want to get into, and I'm terrified to say this out loud because I'm sure my wife is going to hold my feet to the fire.
Right.
I really want to get into Pilates. I want to try it. I am the least flexible fat fuck on the planet. Like, I am not flexible at all.
Sorry, folks. That's what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm telling you. Mike Smith, doctor, we're going to elbow deep and you got to lose weight, Monty. Is the story that it's the story of my life.
Y'all feel me?
Bro, seriously. Mr. Ed Wainer, slow news day? Not at all. There's a ton going on.
See, I love this comment. Utah Jazz, blah, 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 irrelevant. Like, how much of an asshole are you, dude? Do you not understand? Like, do you not understand how important the marketing deal is to Utah Jazz fans? Do you not understand that there's not a lot happening in football yet? Like, do you want us to retread Big Ten power rankings? Do you want us to do the garbage topic of, which coach is going to get fired first, like Paul Feinbaum is? Like I love these people who come in here and just complain.
It's crazy.
Like, how about you come in here and make it better? How about you come in here and like have a take about like marketing, or even if you have a football take, that's fine. That's fine.
Brandon Butler, yoga, Monty, been doing it for years. Great for flexibility. Saved my back. I at some point, Monday nights are going to become swimming nights. Because swimming's great for your brain. So I take that seriously. And I need to get into yoga, Pilates, something.
Well, I think the conversation around like whether it's weight loss or flexibility and how that impacts your golf game is a good one. Because I think that there's a lot of, like, for me as an example, there's a lot of lost power and lost performance in both strength, flexibility, body composition. There's a lot there. And I think that's something that could be a motivation for sure.
Yeah, and so before we get back to actually talking sports, the problem for me is I get up at 4:10 every morning. And I go to bed around 9. Like last night, I was going to sleep at 9:30. And all day long, I'm busy all day long. And so going to the gym has become secondary. I have at home in my basement, I have a full workout suite. Like I need to get my ass back into strength training and flexibility. That's what I need. It's not rocket science. When I'm eating well, I'm sleeping well. When I don't have calf cramps, I'm sleeping well. Like, I don't drink sodas. Like, I do all this shit right, and I've got to get back in the gym.
Well, I think
Period is that.
the incline walking thing's real. I think that's something that could be. There's a lot of. I feel like there's been a lot of studies that have come out that have said like, incline walking and just getting your heart rate into the fat burn zone is like fine. Like that works.
Yeah, totally agree. DVDV. Dude, swimming is awesome. Definitely go for that. Oh, I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm going to, because I don't need to lose 1,000 pounds. Like I need to strength train and get two days of cardio a week. And if I do that, I will thin out quickly. And because I eat pretty well. I eat pretty well. Yeah, looking forward to Snoop Dogg and horse dancing talk this summer.
Like,
okay.
Do you see what I mean? Like,
okay.
Do you guys understand that we literally talk football on the show every day?
I bet you we do 200 football shows a year.
Like,
it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. We do like quite literally, we do like 200 football shows a year. And people are just, you want what you want, which is fine. San Diego State Glenn, here's some football talk. 36 days until the premiere of Aztec Fast. Okay.
Bet you weren't expecting this one.
Man, can't wait for the Aztecs to go fast.
Dude. Wow.
Right? I mean, that's amazing. The Monty Show is always presented by Prize Picks, prizepicks.com. Download the app. Got my ass handed to me again. I'm on a 4-day cold streak.
Bro.
So I need to turn it around. And I warned you about Billy Horschel yesterday. Did I not? Did I not?
Dude, you did. You did. To your credit, you did.
I told you. And then
Billy
Horschel.
Oh, I don't feel good. I got to withdraw from the tournament. Thanks, Billy.
Yeah, Billy
Thanks,
Horschel
dude.
got sick, so he withdrew. Let's go PGA today. And let's lose our ass on I'm going birdies are better. Sahith Thagala, 4.5 birdies are better, more or less. I'm gonna go more.
Oh man.
I'm gonna say Keegan Bradley, 4.5 birdies are better.
Yeah, I feel like that's a less, but
you feel like that's a less.
Yeah, I feel like that's a less, but
okay.
The other one I really liked, I haven't made my pick yet, but I really like the Stewart Sink 3.5 number because I feel like Stewart's a guy that just puts it in the fairway, doesn't do anything crazy.
I agree.
So I feel like that could be like a low key, easy winner kind of pick.
All right. So I did Keegs for less, Sahith Thagala for more, and Stewart Sink for more. Now let's do You Gotta Get Stroked.
Right.
Tony Finau, 68.5 strokes, more or less.
Gotta get stroked.
I want to go with more, but let me hold on.
What's the weather like?
Weather is partly cloudy for the most part. If you go on Twitter, I think it's like PGA Tour or something.
Because this all plays on Prize Picks, you guys.
Yeah, this all matters, dude. So if you do PGA Tour weather, there's an account that I follow that, of course, I can't remember. PGA Tour Communications. That's what I'm looking for. Weather is going to be 0% chance of precipitation, between 70 degrees and 85 degrees, depending on when you're playing. And the wind is going to be between 8 and 16 miles an hour out of the south.
All right. We're going, let's go Finau more. Let's go. Man, there's some scores today. Let's go. I like Cam Davis at 69. Let's go. Oh, man. Keith Mitchell at 69.5. 70 seems to be the number.
Okay, so there's a
dude.
ton of dudes under par. You've got 66 guys under par from yesterday, and the projected cut is 2 under. So if you're looking at like,
Akshay Bhatia.
Bhatia, where's Bhatia?
Akshay, that's my guy.
Hey, Bhatia.
Hey, I think that is that's where
Bhatia is 1 under. He is not out yet. Obviously, he shot a 70 yesterday.
Yeah, I
par
think we
71.
go less. I think we go less than 69.
And he's a guy. That's a good pick because he's a guy that's going to have a good day to make the cut. The projected cut is 2 under. He's currently sitting at 1 under. So if you're him, you know that dudes are going to play better today than they did yesterday. So you're going to need to be 3-4 under today.
Finau more than 68.5. Thigala more than 68.5. Akshay Bhatia less than 69.
Finau's at 4 under. I like the Finau pick a lot.
So Finau
shot a 67 yesterday.
So more than 68.5. More or less than 68.5. You think less?
Less, yeah. He played well yesterday. And then who was your other guy?
Sahith.
My
guy Thigala.
Go down to Thigala here. Thigala is, where is he? Thigala, yeah, less. He's 5 under. Shot a 66 yesterday.
All right. There you have it. $20 to win 45 on Prize Picks. Download the app, use the promo code Monty to get 100% deposit matching. I love Prize Picks. This right here is why I like Prize Picks a lot.
See, but that's what you got to do. You got to look at how dudes are playing. Like, did they have a good first round or did they have a crappy first round? Like, what's the weather? Like, what kind of course is it? This is a course that, if you can drive the ball reasonably well, you really should be playing birdie golf most of the day.
Yep. Brandon Butler, if I can stick around during Mike Gundy ranch, you can stomach a bit of NBA
That's
talk.
what I'm saying, dude. Like, how many, come on.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Chill out. Jeremy Severe, hello. I just want good thought-provoking content. You guys always deliver that. Appreciate it. Leave Gundy out of this like I leave it out of your mom. Good point. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It says leave Gundy out of this. He's a man.
I'm a man.
Sorry, I misread the last part of it.
I'm a man.
Conductor Como, new subscriber here. Great show. We need to get rid of Wiggins and Lamar Markkanen.
Yeah, well, the problem is that getting rid of Wiggins requires a third team, and that's the issue. Is that the Jazz are most certainly not going to take Andrew Wiggins, and I don't know who that third team is going to be. Someone's going to have to be willing to do that. But again, if you're going to take on the Wiggins contract, what else are you getting with that? And that's why I think for the Warriors it's challenging.
I agree 100%. Mark Rafi. Unfortunately, we need to trade Lauri or we will pick 9 or 10 again. Jesus, how bad would that be?
The worst. It's the worst.
Need to be in top 3 or 4. Exactly right. From a longtime Aussie fan. Hard decision as Lauri is great fit in Utah.
Agreed.
Mike Smith, you had me at 69. That's what she said. Jimmy Otson.
Whoa. Whoa.
Fuck, bro. Speaking of health,
dude,
when you don't have an ACL in your knee and you cross your legs under the chair and
damn,
my knee has actually been really healthy lately, which has been great so I tore my ACL when I was 18, had it fixed a year later, tore it again, have not had an ACL since then. So since like 1991 or 2, I haven't had an ACL in my left knee. 9 days out of 10, I'm fine. Then I'll go 14 days and my knee will just be a fucking wreck. And there are some times, dude, you just, not good. Not good. The Lakers should sell their soul for Markkanen. That's an interesting... I do not believe that Ryan Smith would authorize a trade, the owner of the Jazz, for Markkanen to the Lakers.
Right.
I don't, and I do not believe. Somebody asked me yesterday, an NBA source said, do you think Golden State would ever execute a trade that lands Jonathan Kuminga in Sacramento? And I said, if you're asking me that question, you know the answer.
Yeah.
There's not a chance in hell. That might be one player that changes their fortunes even before LeBum retires. Well, besides Bronny. Did you guys hear how much credence do you put into this Bronny shit? But did you guys hear that his teammates in Vegas said he was given special treatment and it divided the team? They did not feel like Bronny was one of them, that he was a guy unto himself, and then there was the rest of the roster. Do you believe that? Is that jealousy? Do you think that's how it was?
I think that not the whole team feels that way. I don't think the whole team feels that way. I think that there's probably a guy or two that maybe feels that way, because that's usually how that goes, right? I mean, it's not usually the whole locker room. And Bronny's never been, not even in his time in the league, but just like coming up and like, being someone that was trying to get to the league. he was never that guy that was like an asshole or like divided teams. You've never heard that about Bronny. So my guess is that's like a couple of different players. But what I am going to say is that the way the draft went down, where they picked you, how that went down, again, you're going to face some of that. You are going to face, like, people are going to trash talk the hell out of Bronny.
I already have seen like daddy daughter. I've seen all the La Daddy, the
like and again, that's why I say, like,
La Pops.
I'm just telling you guys, like, it's cool that he got to the league. Congrats to him. I'm not even hating on the dude, but I do respect the fact that he's going to deal with a lot of junk this season in his limited ass minutes.
Do it better than everybody else.
Yeah,
because Justin Bemis, hey Monty, Payne Stewart, greatest golfer ever. Rip. Well, Tiger Woods, but Payne was cool. No Oak State, James saying no, he is out of town today. Conductor Como, if they can get Keegan Murray for Kuminga, I would do that. Yeah, maybe.
You're not trying to make the Kings better, dude.
No, Bronny is taking a spot that a lot of Lakers summer leaguers know is a spot that they just can't get. Well, that's true.
It's true. That's facts.
That
Guaranteed
is
contract.
And Jimmy, I think that's one of those things that's like perception versus reality. I don't think there's any doubt about that. It's a perception versus reality thing. I don't think there's any doubt about it. All right, let's switch gears. Hey, asshole, talk training camp football, bitch. NFL training camps are open. And listen, as a casual observer of the Chicago burst, and the massive amount of ridiculousness that I've taken on this show over Caleb Williams, that he is performing at a very high level with the burst. I got to tell you, there was a little blood flow in the lower extremities because
I'd be excited if I were you too, man. I mean, he looks good. He legitimately looks good.
Better than your quarterback. Jake's a Dallas Cowboy fan. But anyway, here nor there. My point is, I think Caleb Williams is going to be one of the truly great stories of this preseason. And if he does not get hurt, I think there is a chance. There's this conversation about whether or not the legendary Caleb Williams is an MVP candidate. Buying or selling that?
Well, I'm not going to buy that he's an MVP candidate in real life until we see what he's got in week 1 and week 2. Like, I just need to understand, not only what his ability is, but also what the Bears are willing to call. Because that was one of the biggest things that held Justin Fields back. We didn't get to see, like, everyone's all hard over this Justin Fields deep ball the other day.
This is a family show.
I know. Everyone's all boned up. There's a bunch of blood flowing over the fact that, Justin Fields threw this amazing deep ball. And the first thing I said to that was, bro, why is anyone surprised about this? He had a great deep ball at Ohio State. That was one of the selling points in the draft. The only problem with that is that the Bears wouldn't cut him loose in the offense. They wouldn't say, yeah, hey, let's throw the ball down the field. So
didn't trust him
to do that. So when it comes to Caleb Williams in this MVP conversation, yeah, there's a lot of money coming in on Buddy to win the MVP, as there should be. He looks good. He's very talented. Yeah. But my only question is, what does the offense actually look like when you're in a real game? What are you guys going to call? How committed will you be to the run versus asking Caleb to make plays?
I think they are committed to Caleb Williams' development. And I think that you are going to run the ball for purpose, and you are going to throw the ball to win. And I think that when you look at the sets that they're running in camp, you're already throwing an excessive amount of passes on the goal line. Their red zone stuff has been really pass heavy, and I like that. I think Caleb Williams moving out of the pocket, specifically to his left, is very difficult for teams to handle. I think Caleb Williams has been put in a position where everything is set up for him to succeed, and I think you're watching him grow into that. And I think if this trajectory continues, the relationship that we now know he has with Keenan Allen, the time that he has spent at the facility the entire summer, that to me looks like a guy that's dedicated to playing NFL football. And we can make all the painted nail jokes we want. We can sit here and joke about whether or not, he's that guy. Caleb Williams is showing you he's that guy. And I think heretofore, until he really struggles and turns into Justin Fields, there's no reason not to feel very good about what Caleb Williams is doing.
Yeah, and we're not hearing a bunch of negative stuff out of camp so far either. I mean, obviously it's early on. Camps are just starting, of course. There's a lot of time left, but I remember as someone who grew up watching the Bears, like the Bears never have had in Chicago. The Bears never really had quarterback talent like this. And no matter what you make of the Justin Fields experience, he's a talented dude and he will get more opportunities in this league. And frankly, I think Russell Wilson is going to be lucky to keep that job for more than 5 weeks. When I think about that, and when I look at the Bears, all I want them to do is give Caleb Williams a legitimate chance to go out there and play his game. Go out there and let dude fail. Give him every opportunity. Hey, we're going to run the ball. We're going to put you in strong positions. Go out and make the play. And if you do that, the guy is going to make the play. And that's where I say the Bears just got to get out of their own way.
I don't think there's any question that the Bears have positioned Caleb Williams to succeed. And they have no choice but to give him every chance to fail. And if they continue to put Caleb in this position, which why would they not? I think they are going to thrive. And he has a chance to be the first ever franchise quarterback for the Chicago Bears. They've never had one. And there is this misconception that somehow Jim McMahon was this legendary quarterback. He was. That's very different than a franchise quarterback.
Right.
Jim McMahon was not a franchise quarterback. Jay Cutler was not a franchise quarterback. You have a chance for the first time in the long storied tradition and history of the Chicago Bears to have a franchise quarterback. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Give the guy healthy wide receivers and a tight end and an offensive line. That's what this cat needs. And have a serviceable running back. That's what this cat needs. Have a running back who can catch the ball. That's what this cat needs. You've got all of that. The defense, I think, is going to be stellar. And this is the first time I can say that I am stoked to get to the preseason in the NFL.
Does he have a better rookie season than CJ Stroud? Because that's what I think the fair comp is.
Well, CJ Stroud had a hell of a rookie season.
Yeah. But what are we talking about heading into this season for the Bears and Caleb Williams? I mean, people are saying, "Hey, this is going to be a playoff team." Like, we're expecting, a nine win season at least. Like, we're expecting a huge jump in performance here.
I think so.
Which nobody was saying that out of Texans world, and then all of a sudden CJ Stroud showed up, and that offense showed up, and all of a sudden they were in the playoffs. So.
And I love the fact that he's not a running quarterback. I love the fact that he is already just in training camp. Let's get him in a game. He's already playing at a really, really high pace. Their 2-minute stuff has been outstanding. And I think that's why you're purposefully seeing the Bears showing him in 2 minutes. Because he is playing fast, smart, efficient football in the red zone. And if he does that, that's half the bit. Justin Fields was never able to do that. This was one of the worst red zone teams in the modern era of the National Football League with Justin Fields on the field. So I think it's one of those things where he's going to have every chance. I think they're doing things the right way, in my opinion. Brandon Butler, if they win the NFC North, then yeah, he will be in the conversation. Let's see what the new OC installs. Well, let's see, because you've got to find a way to
you got to be better.
You got to find a way to improve this team. Brandon Butler also gives 5 Monty Show memberships. Yeah, hell, I'm terrible at my job. First of all, hit the like button, please. I really appreciate that. I was chewed out via DM yesterday by a longtime loyal listener who said, "You never ask people to hit the like button. You're not doing your job," was essentially what I was told yesterday. which is very true. You guys know we like to get to 100 likes during the live show. Let me flip over to YouTube. And we are at almost 1,000 views and only 28 likes. Those are rookie numbers. Pump those numbers up.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. If you are one of our folks watching on Twitter, good morning to you. On the X platform, we appreciate all of you watching the show. Come on over to YouTube, find the Monty Show. Hit subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Join the community. We appreciate you for that. And hopefully you picked up one of Brandon Butler's memberships. Jimmy Otson did, Scott Palmer, Thomas Guest, Tyson Doyle, Russell Yazuna, all picked up memberships from Brandon Butler. We appreciate that. Thank you. Giving Friday, I haven't talked about it one time. I'm terrible at my job. Giving Friday. Here's what we're doing. Hour number 2 of the Monty Show. As always, presented by our friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. They're working with the road home to deliver school supplies, and I mean basic necessities, to homeless children who don't know where their next meal is going to come from, let alone how they're going to get dressed for school, where they're going to get dressed, what they're going to put on. Do they have a backpack, school supplies, pens, pencils, socks, underwear? That's what we're talking about. Self-esteem, future progress, ending the cycles of poverty and homelessness in people's families. You have the ability to do that today. $1, $5, $20. Hit them on Venmo right here. Advocates donations. We are, I think it's $270 something away from our goal. We wanted to get to 5,000, and we are very close to that. We're at like 4,700. Let's call it $300. $4,700, and we need $300 today to get to 5,000. So hook it up. Hit the donation, and everybody who donates today in this next 55 minutes. You'll be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card, which as soon as the show is over, we will email it right to you. We do not make you wait. None of that. Hit us with your screenshot of your Venmo to the Advocates donations. $5, $100, whatever it is. Let's get to $300 in the next hour. That's what we need. That's what we're asking you
Let's
for.
do it.
In the memo section generally determines loss or win. And if we can get just 10 people to donate $30, that's what we're talking about. 10 people to donate $30. Use the memo section. Just put Monty Show, and then whatever you want to put in there. Have fun with it. I always get phone calls from the advocates laughing about the memo section. So make it happen. And then take your screenshot, send it to Jake, SLC Jake on Instagram. SLC Jake on Instagram. Hook it up. And let's see who we give that Amazon gift card to. Let's get into the comment section. Calford. Kyle Shanahan needs to get spiritually cleansed for the 49ers to have any chance of winning a Super Bowl.
Okay.
What do you do with Brandon Aiyuk? That's one of the most important questions of training camp. Should the 49ers trade Brandon Aiyuk? I say absolutely not. I am an Aiyuk believer. I would rather have Brandon Aiyuk than CeeDee Lamb. And by that, I mean, if you pay Brandon Aiyuk, he's going to perform. I have zero confidence that if you hand CeeDee Lamb, who now has told the Cowboys through his agent, let this resonate. CeeDee Lamb wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb. I'm not paying him that kind of money.
No.
There's not a chance in the world. After the performance we saw in the playoffs last year, where he just came out in the first half and just had zero want to, I'm not doing that. I would trade CeeDee Lamb. Hey, you want to swap Brandon Aiyuk for CeeDee Lamb? I know it sounds crazy. I am telling you the 49ers would win that trade. I'm telling you right now, the 49ers would win that trade. And I think it is very interesting that Brandon Aiyuk is being viewed as a problem and CeeDee Lamb is being viewed as a guy who needs to get paid, which are two totally different things.
Yeah, I think the thing for the 49ers is that Ayuk, Ayuk obviously knows the offense already. Obviously there's a certain comfort level with Brock Purdy there already. Like, getting that deal done, obviously is way more beneficial to the 49ers than trading Ayuk and everything like that. I mean, if you just hypothetically, not that we're saying it's going to happen, but if you were to do a swap for Ayuk and Lamb, I just, even having Lamb in that offense, I'm not sure would be amazing, because you can't count on the guy to make the big catch. And
I think that's the biggest part of it.
Yeah. And I think that again, he's a great wide receiver. I mean, he puts up numbers like, obviously he's contributed at a high level, but there's been so many times where, Dak will put it right on him in a big moment and he drops it. I mean, that's happened time and time again. And so I don't think you can just, forget about that or let that go. And seemingly Ayuk, has had a drop here or there, as everyone does, but it seems like more times than not, when you throw it to him, he catches it. And frankly, he's got a bunch of tape about, him beating guys down in the end zone to go get the football. And those are guys that, are you can't replace those guys in your wide receiver room. When you have someone, in your wide receiver room who's willing to go out and wrestle the DB in the end zone to get the football, that's priceless. And
I agree.
that shows up in the form of tight ends, wide receivers. There's been backs who have done it, but that's why I think for the 49ers, getting the Ayuk deal done, and really, I feel like it's flying under the radar, but McCaffrey's looking for one too. And that whole dynamic for the 49ers needs to get taken care of, because I loved what McCaffrey said. He said, obviously, you'd like to have this stuff done before camp. You want to be fully focused on football and just getting ready for the season. It puts you in a much better position. But, we're going to let that process play out. So,
and I think the quarterbacks are a big question here. I mean, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott. Again, I'll say this about Dak Prescott, and it pisses everybody off. He's an elite quarterback. Yeah. I would love to have Dak Prescott as my quarterback. Now, I think Dak has learned what Caleb Williams already knows. You can't be a run first quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
And it's why, again, I will just say, I love the fact that the new era of quarterback, much like Patrick Mahomes, is somebody that runs for effect. There's a big difference between a running quarterback and a mobile quarterback. There is a very big difference.
Yeah.
And it's what, again, I'm so excited about Caleb Williams, because he's not a running quarterback. Caleb Williams is a mobile quarterback who runs for effect.
Yeah.
And runs for opportunity. And I think that's one of the questions that I have about Brocktober. Like, Brock Purdy's a guy, and I love Brock Purdy. I would pay Brock Purdy, and they will. But I love that he isn't a run-first quarterback. But, boy, you turn your back on that guy, and he's going to take off on you. And my question is, when you look at these two quarterbacks, and maybe this is a Dallas Cowboy conversation on its own, why have you not paid Dak Prescott yet? I understand why you haven't paid Brock Purdy. You don't have to yet. Why have you not paid Dak Prescott or Micah Parsons or CeeDee Lamb? You're paying Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, I think is bro, he is going to be the highest paid defensive lineman.
Generational talent.
Probably ever.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron Donald, he's probably getting Aaron Donald money.
But I think what's interesting is, like, I think Lamb out of the three of these guys has the weakest case. And yet Lamb's trying to sit here and do this whole holdout crap and paying the fines and everything. And I just think that's a bad strategy on his part. Like, I think as a wide receiver in this league specifically,
well,
if you're someone who legitimately is trying to sell the league that you have the goods, don't hold out. Don't hold out. Hold in. Come into camp. Do everything you're supposed to do. Because either way, because all the ESPN guys are saying, hey, he's holding out, but he's working out still. He's staying in shape. So either way, you're at risk of injury. I love the assertion that these guys who hold out are not yet still at risk of, doing a knee or whatever. Like, if that's going to happen, it's going to happen, dude. Like, I've never
I agree with
understood
that.
the idea of let's pay all the fines and let's create all this drama. Dude, if you're Jerry Jones, you're paying Dak Prescott, you're paying Micah Parsons, and then what you need to do is get those guys done and force Lamb to come back to camp for a lesser deal. That's what you need to do.
I would be in no hurry to pay CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. I mean, where's he going to go?
I would pay Dak because I think he's an elite quarterback, and he just does not get the respect he deserves. And a lot of people point to the interception numbers. And I ask you to go back and look at that tape. Were there some terrible decisions there? There were. How many times did he hit a receiver in the hands and have the ball picked off?
You know, that guy that's holding out, how many times did he hit Buddy in the hands?
Yeah, I think it is. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where you just can't put a value on elite quarterbacks. And again, I just go back to Caleb Williams. You can't put a number on that, in my opinion. All right, let's so you sent me a screenshot.
Yes.
When you've sent me another one.
Yes.
Okay, so we now have 2 entries.
Yes.
The first one,
Chad Carter.
Marty told me to ask if my wife has me cash app some other dude $25 that I don't know. Am I a cuck? I'll hang up and listen.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's review. So appreciate the donation. Thank you.
A cuck.
You're entered to win. I appreciate what you tried to do there, but I think you need to go back and check the tape and get a higher level of execution, bro.
Okay.
Calford.
Calford, $150. Appreciate that. Look at that. We are at $175 already. You guys, we're more than halfway home. Calamoni for Monty kids, halfway to 300. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go. Appreciate that, Calford. Thank you so much. That's awesome. You guys, we're over halfway there now. All we need is $125. Advocates donations, $125 to get us the $300 for the day. Let's go. Get it done. It goes 100% to the road home, who is giving that money to school supplies for underprivileged kids who are homeless, who don't have the basic necessities. And I always say, how much did you take your backpack for granted as a kid? Hell, I have one sitting over here that I take for granted until I go to Boston and didn't bring it with me and missed it. We take the first world things that we have for granted. Make your donation on Venmo, Advocates Donations. We're about 40 minutes away now from giving away a $100 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is make your donation on Venmo, take a screenshot and send it to SLC Jake on Insta Snapface.
Do it.
I should check as well, because I saw a bunch of you sent me donations last time. Send them to Jake, SLC Jake.
Yeah.
Because generally I get a gazillion and
Chad
one.
Carter says that he DM'd me in response to our feedback
Mm-hmm.
and said that cringe and awkward is his jam.
And it is. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Wow. Arson attack in France disrupts trains before Olympic opening ceremony. Holy hell. Coordinated arson attacks disrupted service on 3 high-speed train lines in France, causing widespread chaos as fans and patrons tried to make their way through Paris to get to the Olympic opening ceremony.
Schemers trying to control their little world.
And this is something that we've talked about pretty regularly, that France has a terrorism problem, and it's very different than Tokyo. It's very different than London. Did you guys see OG Gary put a post in the members only group yesterday on Instagram, which you should join? It's a fantastic group. $10 a month gets you into our members only group on Instagram. Great group of dudes. Of the Manchester police, man, law enforcement in Europe is different. France, I think this game's has a potential for disaster. And it really is. It's scary. So we'll keep you up to date on that. But again, Venmo, the advocates donations, take a screenshot. And as much as he tried, Calamoni for the Monty's kids, yes. I'm a cuck? No. Marty told me to ask. I mean, I love it. We're at $175. We need $125 in the next 30 minutes.
Let's go, baby.
So. Advocates donations. Use the memo section. Mention the word Monty, M-O-N-T-Y, Monty. I'd prefer if you left cuckold out of it. And then send a screenshot to Jake, SLC Jake on Instagram. We appreciate that. The ghost of Gumby, Calamoni pays. Gumby, really good to see you, my guy. Calford just puts a bear there. Ugh. Here we go with the terrorists trying to fuck up the Olympics. You're not wrong,
dude. 100%.
Cam Harrison, I need to join the group on IG. Just hit join right here on the Monty Show YouTube channel. And there you have it. Let's see. Willie Wilson. Willie, I thought I saw you. Yes, Willie was asking us about golf on Prize Picks. Sam Burns had a tough day yesterday. He was the only one who came through for me on Fairways Hit.
Yeah. Which I actually really like the Fairways Hit Prize Picks.
I do
too. That's a good one to play.
I would be off of Sam Burns. His approach game, his second shot was horrendous yesterday.
Yeah.
Horrendous. Willie also says Finau always shoots better Friday and Saturday. I agree with that.
Yeah.
The Cowboys head coach McCarthy installed his offense last year. It should look better this year. The problem is the Cowboys will be able to adjust their offense and defense during the playoffs. Well,
but here's the deal, though. I don't even disagree.
Here's the
deal. I'm the worst there is. I just think that McCarthy has done everything you need him to do, and ultimately, this squad of dudes just hasn't made the plays necessary. Like I don't
agree.
think that. Like I remember last postseason in the NFL talking about like, dude, this wasn't a play calling issue.
No.
Like this was an issue of, hey, Dak would throw it to the receiver. They wouldn't catch it. Hey, defender is right where they're supposed to be for the Cowboys and didn't bat the ball down. Didn't make the play. And that's the hard part. I don't know what you do about that in the league. Like,
Nothing.
And so we're sitting here trying to find answers. If you're the Cowboys front office, and Jerry can come out and say what he does every single year, that after he's done circumcising Skeeters, that he's going to be all in on winning a Super Bowl. The problem is that all in is like every single year. And you're sitting here not doing your, like, there shouldn't be this level of distraction with money in Cowboy land. You're one of the richest owners in the game. Dude,
Yeah. Pay
pay these guys, man.
DVDV says, is Purdy comparable to Williams? Well, at this point, Brock Purdy's better than Williams. He's on a Super Bowl caliber team. I don't know. In the comments section, Brock Purdy or Caleb Williams, which one would you rather have today? Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Brock Purdy.
And I love my guy,
proven.
Caleb. I love my guy, Caleb. But let's be honest about it.
Brock Purdy has shown you that he can win you the big game.
Battle tested, willing to take a hit. Again, a really smart, savvy guy when it comes to moving the pocket, and you have to be, and I just keep using Patty Ice because he's elite, best quarterback in the game.
Yeah.
You have to be really methodical and thoughtful when you run. And I think Brock is, and he has the ability to break your back when he runs. I have real high hopes for Caleb Williams. I'm taking Brock Purdy all day.
Yeah.
I'm taking Brock Purdy all day. Let's see.
Chad Carter.
100 left. Let's go. Only $100 left.
Thank you, sir.
Come on, let's go. 5 people donate $20. 1 person donate $100. What is it going to take to get us over the line? We have 35 minutes left.
Come on, man.
What is it going to take to get us over the line? Hit the advocates on Venmo, advocates donations. It's $100. I know it's a lot of money for 1 person. I truly get it. But if you've got $5, 20 people donate $5. That'd be phenomenal.
Yeah.
10 people donate $10. You see where I'm going with this? 20 people donate, 5 people donate $20.
Yeah.
We don't have to stop at 300. We don't have to stop at 5,000. Let's keep going. Let's keep moving. Make it happen. Advocates donations. Take a screenshot of your memo section and your once you send the donation, take a screenshot, send it to Jake on DM.
Wow. Wow.
It happens. It's Friday.
I don't regret those decisions.
Burps Lock Friday. Make sure that you send it directly to Jake on Instagram. I apologize. I'm a terrible person.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible person.
What else we got in the comments? What else?
Wait, I want to play one thing for Mike Smith, who I forgot to play this earlier.
Go ahead.
Oh, fucking God.
Mike, you're welcome. You're welcome, dude.
I love you, man. I love you, dude. I appreciate it. The Ghost of Gumby says burp. Yeah, it happens. Purdy for sure. Exactly right. Keith Carl, morning casuals. When does the politics talk start? About 20 minutes. Also Purdy for sure. Brandon Bootlair. Williams, Purdy is a nice QB. Williams, Purdy's a nice QB, but it is all the talent around him. And that's always been a question about Purdy, but I think you're going to say the same thing. Go ahead.
I don't know that we can say it's just the talent around him, bro. I mean, I agree. It helps when your back can break teams off like the way that CMC does.
Break teams off.
But, he's still got to make those throws. And some of those throws he made in the postseason were just insane. I mean, tight window throws right on the dude's hands. Like, I do think that people, undersell Brock Purdy heavily. But seemingly the guy is pretty much, outside of this one arm injury he's had, he's been pretty healthy. He's not been a guy that easily leaves games. And I think the hard part for Brock Purdy is that, yeah, it's easy to say, yeah, he's got Aiyuk, he's got Debo, he's got CMC, he's got an offensive line, he's got, a punishing defense. Like, they're a good team for a reason. And Brock Purdy, to me, is someone who deserves credit for being able to hang in the pocket and deliver when he needs to, and then also being able to run for the first down when he needs to. I think we should not discredit this guy or sell this guy short for having a lot of talent around him. He's still got to go out and do his job. And yes, it is a little easier because you have good talent, but that shouldn't be, we shouldn't be saying, well, he's only good. They only have a Super Bowl because,
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's really interesting that you have these questions seemingly always come up around guys like Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
The talent around Brock Purdy is elite, dude. Like, and I'm still a George Kittle believer. I think this is a huge moment in time for George Kittle. He's got to have a bounce back year.
Yeah.
But I mean, Debo is a beast if he can stay healthy. I mean, you just have, CMC, like if you look at the dearth of talent. Now, the Bears have dramatically upgraded what was truly only Cole Kmet, right? You've dramatically upgraded that. I think Swift is interesting. I think that group of wide receivers now, Rome Odunze, obviously Keenan, you've given him weapons. You spent money on the offensive line. Like, it actually appears, and Brandon, I hesitate to say this out loud, but I think as a fellow Chicago Bears fan, you can understand this. It actually appears that the beloved have a plan in place, and they are executing their plan. That seems to be...
Careful.
I know. I hesitate.
Yeah, careful.
But the Bears actually my Chicago Bears seem to have a plan in place, and they seem to be executing.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look here. On the Advocates donations, Venmo. For the kids, I ain't Bon Jovi, halfway there, just won't do.
That's Butler.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
Brandon
it,
Butler.
my guy. Thank you, Brandon Butler. Go Bears. Monty's kids, go Bears. Wow. Calford with $100. Calford's winning. Because isn't that his third one?
Yeah, that would be 200. That's his second one today. That would be 250.
Monty Show. Hey, Marty and Two Holes. It's for the kids.
That would be our boy Preston.
Appreciate that, dude.
I appreciate you, dude.
Look at you guys coming through. I believe, let's do some math. 25, 175, 200, 225, 325, 350.
Boom. Clutch.
$350.
So you've got probably 15 minutes to get in if you want that Amazon gift card.
We did it, and I appreciate that. Don't stop now. I would love to. What do we have, 325 now?
Yeah. Now we're at that point where we're just making a difference. Now
we're making a difference.
Now
Yeah, I
we're
agree
making
with
a difference,
that.
bro.
15 minutes. We'll announce the winner of the Amazon gift card.
Yep.
You've got that much time to hit Jake on Instagram DM, SLC Jake.
Yeah.
On Instagram DM.
4-horse race right now. We've got Chad Carter, Brandon Butler, Calford, and Preston.
Okay. Although, let's see. Memo section. Hey, Monty Show. Hey, Marty and Two Holes. It's for the kids. I like it a lot. Monty's kids go Bears. The Bears one is, I mean, anytime you're going to shout out the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears.
I mean, that's one that's going to be hard to turn away.
Two holes.
We have another entry.
Yes. That's Fat Jesus.
You paid the Advocates $25, Monty Show. Fat Jesus is in. Appreciate that. Who's got the best memo section?
Now,
I mean,
okay, we need to talk about this real quick, and I would love the comment section's input on this. So this is Chad Carter's style. This is super cringe, super awkward, but admittedly points for creativity. Just don't know is that too far? You're talking about sending a donation to help kids buy backpacks that includes verbiage around husbands and cuckold.
Calamoni, always a good reference. $100 left. Yes. For the kids, I ain't Bon Jovi. Halfway there just won't do. That's phenomenal. I like that. Go Bears for $100. Phenomenal. So who do we think is in the lead?
Well, I mean, this is why we need to make a decision.
Because the Chad Carter one is kind of funny.
It's funny. He gets a lot of points.
If my wife has me cash app some other dude $25 that I don't know, am I a
that's funny, dude.
That is really good. Is it too far though? It's Calford shows up unlike Deshaun Foster.
Play it again. I'm down to see it again.
Oh my God. Dude. What were you doing? Don't call me Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Foster. Jim Rome called him Deshaun Watson yesterday on accident. This is the worst media session of any media day session this year.
I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in LA. It's us and USC. We I'm just basically excited, really. That's it.
Any
questions?
Oh my God.
Thanks for coming prepared, dude. Appreciate it.
Oh my God. Yes, Keith. Oh my God. Willie Wilson, I'm a diehard Cowboy fan. I'm a fan of CeeDee Lamb. I would not pay CeeDee Lamb more than Jefferson. Well, but CeeDee Lamb is allegedly, according to ProFootballTalk.com, Mike Florio, the God. CeeDee Lamb has told the Cowboys he wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I just have a lot of trouble with that. I don't think he's done enough to earn that.
I mean, are you really paying CeeDee Lamb? I can't do it. I cannot imagine paying CeeDee Lamb. Like if you look at the biggest non-NFL contracts,
non-quarterback contracts.
Right. Yes. Yeah. They're tough to find. Let's see. Who would it be even? I mean, Jefferson's making 35. I'm not paying him more than 35. Nick Bosa, San Frogs Disco's making 34. Are you paying him A.J. Brown money at $32 million? Are you paying him Chris Jones money, 31 3/4?
I'm not paying him more than 30. That's my problem.
Amon-Ra at 30. Okay.
30, I'm fine with that.
I think you pay. Is he Amon-Ra? Is he Tyreek the daddy?
Yeah, I think he's those guys. Yeah.
I said Tyreek the
Right. 12
Stay
kids,
hard.
you know. Right.
Is he the prolific sperminator Tyreek Hill? I think he is. I think you're paying him more than Jalen Waddle at 28 1/4.
Yes, he's better than Jalen Waddle.
I'm at 30. I'm not at 35, 40.
Yeah.
And again, what are you going to, you got to pay Micah more than you're paying Chris Jones. So that's 32 million right there. And you got to pay Micah more than you're paying. Is Nick Bosa better than Micah Parsons? Ooh, that's close.
Yeah, I mean, I think they play two different ways. I mean, a lot of people like to say, oh, well, you know, they're playing the same position, but I don't agree with that. I think that Bosa is an edge rusher exclusively. It is rare you see him on the interior of the line. You know, they do it sometimes, but most of the time he's out on the edge. Whereas Micah moves around that line. You've also seen sets where they're playing like a dime nickel look, you know, a little bit smaller of a look, more secondary heavy, where Micah will play sort of the linebacker role, but really just like covering the flat. So he has the ability to do both. And that's what makes him elite.
I mean, it does say LA in the name. I'm pretty sure that's not Louisiana. What was he doing? Typical UCLA. Fat Jesus. I kept my my clean because it was kids. I wanted to write for Monty's colitis. Man, my butthole's good, dude. I'm telling you. Willie Wilson. Okay. Micah Parsons didn't lead us past the Packers during the playoffs. The Packers. Well, and he got a quarterback paid. Because you're probably picking
again, holding in.
Is that like soaking?
Yeah, Jordan Love holding in.
I would not pay Jordan Love. There's talk that Jordan Love is going to get Kirk Cousins money.
Yeah, they're looking at 50 to 55 a year, allegedly.
If you're going to pay him $45 million, now obviously washcloth guy Deshaun. I'm not. Come on, man.
Washcloth guy.
And you're paying. Now, listen. I understand that you're paying Kyler.
Little
Kyler here. I understand you're paying little Kyler, but you're only paying him because he's a workout god.
Pick it up. Walk back.
And again, this is Monty Show exclusive of Kyler Murray working out.
Yeah.
He's lifting weights.
And this was post ACL. So this is really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, ass to grass squats.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is impressive to me.
Yeah.
Verticality at its finest. Look at that face.
Even lift.
Look at that face, man.
Look at how serious he takes it.
Yeah. I mean, Kyler's working hard. And that's why you're willing to pay him.
Right.
That's
not Kyler Murray, just so we all know.
Are you sure that's not Kyler Murray? Would you pay Jordan Love Kyler Murray money? Kyler Murray's making 46 mil.
Quarterbacks get paid, dude.
Jalen Hurts or Jordan Love?
Jalen Hurts or Jordan Love? Yeah, I'm taking Jalen Hurts.
He's making 51 million. Lamar Jackson. Oh, Lamar Jackson. Jake celebrated the cocoa that Lamar Jackson is allegedly dealing with. Jake was like,
coronavirus.
It's already over.
Dude, first practice, dude leaves an hour into the practice. Like, come on, Lamar. Come on, dude. I know that you lost 20 pounds and, you know, you allegedly, you know, that helped your game and everything's awesome. It's a bad look to sign a new deal and leave an hour into your first practice.
52 million. That's sex machine Justin
He's
Herbert.
not Justin Herbert.
52.5 million. Jared Goff, 53 million.
Okay, this is a problem for the Packers right here. Goff is a problem. If you're going to pay Goff 52 a year, bro, I mean, come on.
Joe Burrow, 55 million. And then triple forehead.
I'm telling you,
Mr. Crypto.
Dude, Jordan Love is going to get 1 cent more than Trevor got.
Trevor Lawrence, you're going to pay Jordan Love $56 million.
Yeah, you are. Yep.
Hell no. No. Fat Jesus, Kyler is getting a lot of money because it includes study time. Stop. Stop it.
Well, hey, little guy, we know you're rehabbing a lot, but we're going to need you to study the tape.
Yes, Brandon Butler. Yes. Yes. As a Bears fan, I want them to pay Love the maximum contract ever. Show Jordan Love, the love, Packer fans. Yeah, pay that guy a ton of money as much as possible. All of it guaranteed, all of it up front.
Now, as a Bears fan, if everything works out with Caleb, you're going to be down to pay him probably 65 by that point. See what I'm saying? Like it's graduating. We're going to be into the 60s by the time it's Buddy's turn.
Willie says Jordan Love is the real deal if he can replicate. If he can do what he did last year, absolutely. Calford Gumby, whatever happened to Deshaun Jackson? I don't know. He retired.
Yeah, he retired, bro.
He retired. All right. Any more donations?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Who are we going to give this Amazon gift card to?
I want to know people's opinion on the Chad Carter one, dude.
Is the cuck comment too much?
Yeah, I mean,
I can't believe we have to ask that question on this show.
The fact that, dude, I can't get over this. The fact that you put in a memo section that is being sent to a law firm to support kids who need school supplies. The fact that you worked in a cuck reference is wild, bro. Like, I'm just, bro. I'll be curious to see what the advocates say about that. It is points for creativity. I'll say that. I mean, it's better than not doing anything.
I would agree with that, but I
think it's him or it's Calford, because Calford donated $250 today, and that's a lot of money, dude.
All right, we'll give it to Calford. Let's check the comment section real quick. The Chad Carter, I'm so proud that my comment has created so much discussion. That should be disqualifying.
Oh.
The cuck line is funny, but not funnier compared to the amount Calamoni sent.
See, that's the problem.
Calford. I'm biased, but Calford. All right, Calford wins it.
Calford wins it. There you
$100
go.
Amazon gift card. Calford, make sure you send Jake your email address. He will email it to you as soon as the show is over.
Sorry, bro. Maury's DMing me saying he's making one. We already gave it away, dude.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, brother.
The great Floridian.
Sorry, brother.
Maury Alvarez.
Sorry,
who has routinely contributed to this show. Maury, hope the kids are well.
Next Friday.
Give it to Calford. Give it to Chad. Poor guys was without water for like a month.
God damn it. We try to do something
Why
nice,
are you
dude.
trying to be nice now?
Like, why are you doing this?
Why
dude?
do you want to be a decent human? If he cucked more, maybe he would have had water.
Bro, dude, that's savage.
Dude, that's amazing. Okay, yeah. Chad Carter, send Jake your email because our guy Calford says to give it to you. Because everybody remembers that you murdered little Timmy at the bottom of the well and it clogged up the pipes. Or whatever the hell happened. Thank you, gentlemen. You're welcome, Calford. No, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
Calamoni makes people nice, except UCLA guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Matt Ritson, hello. All right, are we doing it today?
Yeah, let's do it. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this, bro. Like,
should people be able to have sex at the Olympics? We weren't going to do it today. See, you thought I meant politics.
Got him.
Because we doing that. Did you guys see that my wife wholeheartedly disagrees.
What?
She said the beds they're using at the Olympics, which are made of cardboard, are not preventing people from pounding box.
Oh, please.
Now, there was a video of like a 35-pound somebody or something jumping up and down on a bed, and it didn't break. Now, if you are going to drill for oil on one of those beds, I have to think it's going to break. Honest to God,
Okay, let's show the picture. Let's show the picture. Let's show people what these look like real quick.
That's the whole thing. That bed is made of cardboard with a piece of plywood in the middle. And if you are trying to turn that motor with your piston, I don't know how that's going to happen.
Macaque.
I mean, honest to God.
I wasn't.
If you're trying to find the water table, through the bottom of that bed, I don't see how.
Bro,
I don't have any
maybe I
other
was
way
thinking of this the wrong way. I wasn't really thinking that it was a weight issue. I was thinking that it was more of a width issue. If you look at how skinny that bed is, look at how skinny that bed is, dude.
Guy, have you never had sex on a twin bed?
Bro, look at how skinny that bed
Fuck
is,
me.
bro.
You
I'm not, dude. I'm not
routinely
fucking
every
you, dude.
single day.
No.
Every single day on the show, you say something stupid related to sex. Like man, look, dude,
Marty,
you got a joint this big, Morty. I don't know how you're going to lay that thing on a twin bed. I'm just saying.
Bro, dude.
Are you telling me you have never procreated on a twin bed?
Yes, I have, dude. It's
no, you
not,
haven't.
Yes, I have.
No,
it's
you
not
haven't.
as comfortable as doing it on a bed that's way larger. I'm not trying to worry about falling off the bed or being uncomfortable.
Do you guys see what I deal with?
Yeah, this is ridiculous. I should have had a son.
I wasn't thinking about the what the bed was made of. I was thinking about the size. Who cares about the size of the bed as long as the goddamn thing doesn't collapse?
Do you understand Olympic athletes? Most of them are like 6'3", 6'4". Like, you're talking about people who are not short. Like, people who are like,
I'm not
put it back on the screen. Look at this bed, dude. Are you kidding me?
I'm not using the length of the bed.
Look at that thing.
Guy?
Like, I'm not trying to use a cardboard bed, man. Like, come on.
Why don't you fuck off?
Like, seriously right now. Come on. I'm not saying it's got to be a Tempur-Pedic, but come on.
I give up.
Yeah, I know. I've disappointed you for the last time. I get it.
How would it, you're worried about it being a twin bed?
Yeah, dude. I'm not trying to do it on a twin bed. I mean, there are ways to work around it.
If it's not a Cali King, I'm not here for it.
Yeah, again, like, there are ways to work with that bed, but that's not going to be comfortable.
Bro, if it's not a Cali King, I hope she's got batteries because I'm not going to work.
Yeah, like, come on, dude. You need more size than that.
What is wrong with you? Like, Ghost of Gumby. Just put that comforter on top of the table. Table looks more sturdy.
Right? Like, pull the picture back up. Where's that table? Look at the table.
So you're willing to smash.
Bro.
You're willing to smash on that table, but you won't smash on a twin bed made from like a homeless guy's house. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind?
That's right.
Yes, this is poor parenting. I did not do this well. J2H needs plenty of room for his spectacular dismounts.
We show up.
The term rug burn ring a bell? Exactly. Get creative and use the round table in the bed.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying.
What the fuck is right? It's a bed. You guys, it's a bed.
Though,
it's a bed. It is a bed.
I'm
not using a piece of fucking tabletop.
Dude, the table is more viable, bro.
Bro, let's just use the wall. I don't care about the table.
The table is more viable.
It's a Formica table. You're thinking that's more comfortable than a twin bed?
That's made of cardboard? Yeah.
Okay, put the bed on the floor.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It's on the floor, dude. What do you mean? What do you mean? Put the bed on the floor. It's on the floor.
Take the mattress off the bed and put it on the floor.
Oh.
And then make like a drill bit and go to work. Like, how do I have to explain this to you? Bro.
Well, Marty,
Marty,
the view from the second deck doesn't give you a lot of detail.
Marty, I live a chance lifestyle. Can you paint the picture, bro?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? Just bring a blow-up mattress.
Yeah.
There are solutions.
Air mattress, dude.
I'm sorry. My 6'4", 200-something pound ass doesn't fit in a twin.
That's what
since middle school. How someone like LeBron is supposed to fit on a twin is beyond me. I'm not
That's what
talking.
I'm saying, dude.
Here's the problem. I'm not talking about sleeping.
No, that's not what he's saying. He's not saying that. He's saying LeBron is 6'9" or whatever.
Stand up.
Yeah, but dude, come on. Who wants to? Come on. You can't have it both ways. That bed is not suitable for traditional OG Pound Town. Come on, dude. Come on. Like,
oh dear. Oh my.
It's not, dude.
Have
LeBron
you ever heard of missionary?
Bro,
there are positions that work on the fuck bed. There are positions that work.
I would rather have a kid's car bed than that bed.
He ain't Shaq, bro. He ain't Shaq. He's going to be, trust me, his delivery system is fine on a twin bed. God damn. If I have to draw you a picture, how do I?
I'm telling you, Braun and whoever are not working, you know.
Look, first of all, I don't want to think about Lecoq on a I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. Okay? I was more thinking about hot pole vaulter or track girl, or I'm not here for that. I'm not fantasizing about right? I don't want to think about like Le Sex Machine's 26 inches of greatness. I don't give a flying flip. I'm more thinking about the hottest chick.
Pipe layer.
Yeah, I'm not here to think about the sperm sharer. I am more.
Dude.
Anita, Dick, and Ming.
Brandon Butler, if I'm getting down, I'll use every piece of furniture in the house. Good Lord. That quote unquote bed isn't suitable for sleep, let alone cardio work.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, does that bed fall apart at one point?
Where's the water bed or rollaway beds? Give me a rollaway. I can do it on a rollaway. Good God. I miss water beds. I had a water bed. I don't miss them. What are the singles supposed to do when there are no sofa cushions? Well, yeah, you know, OG Gary, you can use hella positions in that room. Mad potential. That's what I'm saying.
That's a different
Let's
conversation,
figure it out,
dude.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, stand up and put her back against the wall. Are we really?
That's pretty much self-explanatory.
Are you kidding me? You're a highly trained athlete. Figure it out.
It's
figure it
out.
out.
Reflex. When a man and a woman don't know each other,
Marty.
and they finally figure out that they are sex machines, both literally and figuratively. When you have a six-pack of abs and like 10 inches of greatness, you have one job when you are done playing in the Olympics. That is to find a procreatorial mate.
Don't touch me there. That, sir, is my no-no square.
You have two highly trained athletes, a man and a woman. And hey, whatever your thing is, hey,
look, Trevor Bauer.
If you're into teammates, you do you.
Seems like a great opportunity to slurp and splash.
You have two highly trained athletes. Do you really think they're not going to smash?
Kitty cat juices is not all over the place.
Guy, you're not discouraging this.
You have to check it before you wreck it.
Do the math, guys. Bronny is 19, almost 20 years old.
Dude, I'm not doubting Braun's prowess. What I'm doubting is the viability of that bed for 90% of Olympic athletes.
Yeah. Stand up 69 while jogging in the room. You're physically fit.
Yeah. Hey, you know, maybe put on the Nike tracksuit and we can go get it.
These tiny beds are how you get a Bronny James. He would be 6 inches taller if he had been conceived in a non-Olympic bed. Wow. Fat Jesus, so much room for activities in that room. That's what I'm saying. The Chad Carter, do you smash before or after your events are over?
Okay,
after.
see, this is a legitimate conversation.
After.
It has to be after, dude. I don't care what any athlete tells you. You are not smashing before a game or the event. Like, you're not getting down. They even give you
a fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
They even give you a fan.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
You guys are better than this. Calford, before we get to that topic, room's missing one of those exercise balls. Can you have sex on an exercise ball? You can.
You can. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a back injury for me.
Yeah.
I would fall off the exercise ball. There is no question about that. Here's a question. Excluding JD Vance, do you want kids?
Hell no.
So before we get to young JD,
Yeah,
you know that this has been a huge topic of conversation, right? Like everybody's been talking about the fact that JD Vance said that Pete Buttigieg and Kamala Harris, you guys are idiots. That Pete Buttigieg and Kamala Harris are childless cat women, and that people who don't have kids are miserable, and they're spreading their misery across the country. Now, what did he say that in 2022, I think?
Yeah.
I don't think that's playing very well because they're running the hell out of that clip. And then a new study comes out that says, and who knew, there's a lot of people who don't want kids.
Yeah.
And most of them are millennials.
Yeah. I mean, the premise of the study basically is that millennials feel as though, and I feel this way, unless your money's right, that you can't afford them. That you can't afford to have kids right now. And really, it's not so much of a money thing. It's a time thing. Like without the kid, you're good financially. You can go and do your job. Like you can pay for everything. You can go on trips. Like you can do what you want to do. But once you have the kid, now one of you is going to have to step back, at least in some capacity in your job, if not altogether, to raise the kid, obviously in their early years. And then obviously you're going to be making less money. And so that's going to make people more unhappy. So the study essentially talks about the fact that those with kids are far more unhappy than those without kids, which to me makes perfect sense. Hey, what do people need to be happy? They need to have their money's got to be right. Their relationship's got to be good, and they got to be able to do what they want to do.
I don't really care if you want kids or don't want kids. I am the guy who says, live your life unabated, without judgment. You do you. I was also the guy who had a kid at 19, almost 20 years old, and was told my life was over, and I needed to be a janitor at a pharmaceutical company. I was quite literally told that. Then I went to the other side of my family who told me your life is over, join the military. We pass judgment on people because they have kids, because they don't have kids. We call them childless cat women because people in droves and millennials in droves are not having kids, not buying houses, not doing any of that. And JD Vance, who now is no longer a home run. JD Vance now looks like a problem because he's out here calling a number one, he's calling a gay man a cat woman. And number two, he forgot the point where Pete Buttigieg and Kamala Harris both have children.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was right on. Yeah, JD Vance winning hearts and minds of registered female voters everywhere.
Yeah.
And this is kind of my point. This is where I ask the question on this particular post right here. What were you thinking? Because what this is and what you are seeing is a release from the Trump-Vance campaign stating that they will not submit to debates with Kamala Harris. Note that the middle of the section here that says there is a strong sense by many in the Democratic Party. And if I need to know about the Democratic Party, I'm going to go to the Trump-Vance campaign to find out about.
Right.
Namely Barack Hussein Obama, that Kamala Harris is a Marxist fraud who cannot beat President Trump, and they are still holding out for someone better. Therefore, it would be inappropriate to schedule things with Harris because Democrats very well could change their minds. Now, just on the surface, when you say Barack Hussein Obama, just tell us everything we need to know about you without saying anything other than Barack Hussein Obama.
You know,
the obsession with the Trump party with Barack Obama is still amazing to me.
Yeah.
At this point, Obama had not come out and endorsed Kamala Harris, which he did this morning. But Barack Obama lives in the Trump party's head rent-free. It's amazing to me. And that you only used his middle name, Hussein, to pander to your base and be an Islamophobic prick. That's what this is.
Yeah.
You and I both know that nobody in the Democratic Party thinks that she's, quote, a Marxist fraud who cannot beat President Trump. Note they released this the same day that a New York Times poll has them dead even. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Never mind that you agreed to debate Joe Biden before he was the nominee. You were happy to do it. But now you won't debate Kamala Harris on September 10th, which is after the convention. Why not say we'll debate whoever? What happened to wherever, anywhere, anytime? What happened to that?
Yeah, who are you, Zach Wilson?
And I'm going to go back to this point that I will continue to make about the Trump party, which is different than the Republican Party. The Trump party has got to stop talking about the past. The Trump party's got to stop talking about other people and start talking about issues. Because you're putting yourself in a position where you're talking about Barack Obama again.
Hussein Obama.
Excuse me. Barack Hussein Obama. You're talking about him again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I when I saw that statement, I was like, dude, they're running from Harris. Like, it's clear that, like, this statement to me, for anyone who's not a MAGA pro-Trump person, anyone who's either middle or whatever, this thing is riddled with, hey, there's a little bit of intimidation and a little bit of, hey, we don't want to lose badly in a debate and swing this thing way in her favor. So we're not going to debate her.
Well, and I think what this continues, and that's why this conversation about kids and JD Vance and this statement continues this trajectory, philosophy of insult politics.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to, hey, you know, I almost got murked by that sniper. I'm going to completely change how I do things. That never happened. Now, Donald Trump refusing to talk to the FBI to do an interview about this shooting because the FBI is going to want to know if that was a bullet that hit him or shrapnel. I don't know if you guys saw that. The FBI, in their investigation, has asked Donald Trump to sit for an interview, a victim statement, and he has not replied. He has not responded, at least not before the show started. I haven't followed it since. And the FBI is working on a theory that he was not hit with a bullet, but shrapnel.
Interesting.
I think he was hit with a bullet. We'll see.
Well, a lot of people, and this hadn't really stood out to me until it was pointed out, but and I have to confirm it, but did he do the Bryson golf round
without a bandage?
Without a bandage after? Because I know it was posted. The video was posted after the rally and the whole incident, obviously. But I don't think people have confirmed yet whether or not that actually took place after. But if it did take place after and he's not wearing the bandage and the ear is completely fine, then I don't know what happened. Because obviously the day of when it happened, there was blood everywhere. I mean, he got hit by something.
I don't care. The guy tried to kill Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Do we really care if he got hit by a bullet or shrapnel?
I think it matters what happened. I mean, we want to know.
Certainly. And we're going to know. There's this independent investigation sanctioned by both parties. Like, we're going to know.
Yeah.
They tried to kill Donald Trump. This guy tried to kill Donald Trump.
For sure.
I don't need to know if he was hit by shrapnel or a bullet. I don't care. I don't care. What I care about is he's gone right back to the 2016 playbook. Insult everybody, ask about birth certificates, insult them as cat women, go after Pete Buttigieg for being gay, go after Kamala Harris, mispronounce her name. Like, you're doing all this stuff instead of talking about the issues. Talk about her being part of the Afghanistan pullout. Talk about her foreign policy. Talk about her this border thing you've been sort of talking about. Because again, you keep running on this idea that there is this wave of immigrant crime.
Right.
There's not. There's not. You can't back it up. There's no way to back it up. And again, this is right here what I'm talking about. Harris told Willie Brown, there's nothing free, Willie. Were you there? Do you know that? And then again, the reason that this will be the last comment I ever read from you, no one person voted for Harris in the primary. Tell me you know nothing about the primary process. Tell me you know nothing. Tell me you know nothing. You have no idea how the primary process works. None whatsoever.
None.
You understand that the people don't determine the nominee. Delegates do. The vote is an indicator to the delegates. And the delegates do not have to follow the vote. And the thing that I always love about guys like this is, if you're so hard on over the popular vote, how did Donald Trump become president? Because he didn't win the popular vote. He's never in any election won the popular vote. And since you don't know, let me educate you. Where do we determine who the candidate for president is going to be per party? How is that determined? It's determined at the convention, which has not happened yet. There is no replacing candidates. It's this Federal Election Commission thing. Oh, it's against the law. They felonies. Okay, why is the Federal Election Committee, who the executive director was appointed by Donald Trump? Why have they said, yeah, there's nothing here? The money that you're trying to withhold from Kamala Harris, it's actually in both of their names, Biden and Harris. And I would also remind you, just because, again, you have no idea what you're talking about, you're not voting for a presidential nominee. You're voting for a ticket. You're voting for the ticket, which would be Biden and Harris. So you did vote for Kamala Harris. So if their votes matter so much, actually they did vote for Kamala Harris, because it doesn't say, who are you voting for? Joe Biden or Donald Trump? That's not what the ballot reads. And the other thing is, again, because we get guys like Main Street who have no idea what they're talking about, not a single ballot has been printed. Not a single ballot has been printed. Where's Speaker Mike Johnson's investigation? Where's his lawsuit he talked about? Where's his legal action he talked about? Where is all that? Where is it? Yeah, it's not coming.
Yeah.
Giggity. And that is why MAGA politicians don't talk on real issues. The real issues are too complicated for their followers. And I'm trying to get Donald Trump and Trump supporters to understand this. If you want to win this election, you got to get on the issues. The issues are not on Kamala Harris's side. Her foreign policy is not on her side. You have an opportunity again today with Benjamin Netanyahu going to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Donald Trump. You have another chance today to talk about an issue. You had Democrats boycott his speech essentially in front of Congress, Netanyahu. You have a guy in Netanyahu that's up on war crimes. Kamala Harris met with him, with Joe Biden, came out, made a speech yesterday, or gave a press statement
in
front of the cameras. where she said, I am not going to sit silently and watch this continue to happen in Palestine. She's taken a side. Rightly, wrongly, agree, disagree. She took a side on Israel-Palestine. You're meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu today. Are you going to insult her? Are you going to start talking about Barack Hussein Obama again? Or are you going to say it is wrong for the United States to abandon our allies and our longtime friends in Israel? I support Benjamin Netanyahu. That's what he should do. When your opponent's on the other side, that's what he should do. But my guess is he's going to come out and he's going to do the birther thing and he's going to do the, nasty. He continues to do this thing where he calls her nasty. Like, who are you, out of your mind?
Well, and I think that again, it's the point I made last week about, like, I don't believe we get a real good idea. We don't get nationally, like from wherever you're sitting, you don't get a good, real, characterization of what does an actual Trump voter think, feel, like, how are they viewing this
Israel?
Stuff?
But this is Israel's the perfect example of that. Because what is Kamala Harris's position on Israel-Palestine? Did you see her statement? I support Israel, but I will not stand silently while this atrocity and these atrocities continue. We need an end to the war, and those hostages need to be released and sent home. So what is Donald Trump going to do here for not for his base, the broad voter, the undecided voter, because that's who's going to determine this election. She's got the never Trumpers. He's got nobody but Trump. All those voters decided already.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about human atrocities and we're talking about war, and you've tried to hang the anvil around the neck of the Biden-Harris ticket and now Kamala Harris, that all they did was go to war, and you said there were no wars, which is completely not true, during your administration, and you're saying that the Biden-Harris administration, all they were wars? Well, she just came out and said this war has got to come to an end. The atrocities have to stop, and the hostages have to be freed. Where are you going to go with that? That's why I think this meeting with Netanyahu today is so critically important.
Yeah.
Critically important. And the other thing I thought was interesting yesterday, did anybody see what she did in Houston? She got another union to back her. I mean, you've got to get in action here, Don. You got to get, the Trump party's got to get moving off of Barack Hussein Obama and on to Kamala Harris's record.
I agree completely. I totally agree with that. They do. But my biggest concern for the Trump side of this conversation is I just don't think that that's how Donald Trump views things. I don't like, because again, we've all agreed, like when we've talked about this in the past, that Donnie's going to do what Donnie does, right? He's going to say what he wants to say. It's like, it's his campaign and his show. Okay. Well, if it's his show, then why would we expect anything to change? Because the convention speech was supposed to be, dialed back, more respectful, more on the issues, more, like, it was supposed to be this thing where it went great and then it went sideways, and he hasn't recovered.
Yeah. And I think the calling her nasty thing, the Barack Hussein Obama, the cat women, you got to stop that. That's got to stop it. And this immigrant crime thing, I think if you continue to pound that home and you continue to say that immigrants are coming into the country and murdering people and committing violent crimes, and you continue to let Fox News, and if you didn't see John Oliver's feature this weekend, Fox News has been running with this immigrant coming out of jail, flipping double birds at people and saying that he was flipping off America. Turns out that's not what he was doing. And the Trump campaign talking about that. And now notice they've stopped. There's no immigrant crime wave. Donald Trump in February claims to have coined the phrase immigrant crime. There's been no immigrant crime wave. There are not statistics to back up that people break into the country and murder Americans. Crime amongst amongst U.S. citizens, far more. But the other truth here is, and I think maybe this is why they don't want to talk about, the Trump party doesn't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Crime stats are going in the right direction for Americans. So I don't know. I really hope that we hear a different tone from the Trump party after this Netanyahu meeting, because I think you're running out of runway here, dude. Like you're the Pew poll, the New York Times Pew poll, and all of these polls, they have them dead even. Kamala Harris stole your energy now.
And there's been a shift. Like, if you pay attention to the
Absolutely.
cycle, like, and again, I always like to point this out because I don't want people to think that we're just watching CNN or we just watch the Democrat. Like, I go out of my way to watch Fox, to watch CNBC, MSNBC. You got to watch CNN because you need to know their viewpoint that they're pushing, right? Just the same way you got to watch Fox. So, like, when you look across the spectrum, it was pretty consistent for once in our life. Hey, the polls, and it was like a percentage or two off, depending on who you watched. But the polls have Trump ahead. Like 2 weeks ago, when Harris kind of started, that wave started. Hey, Trump's ahead by 7 or 8 points. Trump's ahead of her 7, 8 points. Like, we're good.
One poll had him at and now, granted, it's the New York Post. It was the New York Post, which is a very conservative paper, had him up 9 points on Joe Biden.
And so all that's happened here, no matter who you're looking at, that outlet and a variety of outlets, it's all come back. Hey, slowly but surely over the last 2 weeks, Harris has come to dead even now. And I don't know.
Even.
I mean, if you're the Trump campaign and you see that, how are you not making adjustments? How are you not changing?
All right, let's get your thoughts. Calford said you vote for both because in the event something happens to the president, the vice president becomes the president. Trump voters
conservatives and Trump voters don't want to say that.
The Trump party doesn't want to hear that. Keith Carl, that's why he loves the poorly educated. They'll feed on his every word for something to believe in, which is not what, as Republicans, we do.
Yeah. And I think you make a great point. I think it's something that needs to be talked about more, is the Trump party versus the Republican party is two totally different things.
Correct. And this is the Trump party. And if they lose this election, we might see this Project 2025 thing could really have damaged them. JD Vance could really have damaged them. Nothing has gone right since the day that convention ended. Nothing has gone right. It's been rough. Crime stats are wild. Natural-born U.S. citizens commit more than double the amount of violent crime per 100,000. It's not close.
Yeah.
It's not close. Harry Austin, hello, the great San Antonian. That's not true, Monty. She also said she stands with Israel. Then she said that the suffering cannot be allowed either. Yes, she said.
Yeah.
And I think I said this.
You did.
That Kamala Harris met with Benjamin Netanyahu with President Biden. She came out and made a statement. And she said, I support Israel. But I am not going to be quiet. You need to end this war. You need to provide relief for Palestinians. And you need to get those hostages released today. And I will not be silent. And I don't think there's anybody who doesn't support Israel.
Yeah.
You went too far when you started murdering innocent children and citizens.
And by
that's
the way,
the whole argument.
I think that take is where most of us are as Americans. Like, hey,
that's where where I'm at. I understand. Listen, we are not in a position, whether it's Israel, Palestine, or anywhere else in the Middle East, we're not solving what's been going on for thousands of years.
Yeah.
The Israel-Palestine conflict will go on for 1,000 more. What we as supposedly the leaders of the free world cannot do is watch innocent Palestinians be murdered and then starved to death.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Should we support Hamas doing what they did? What was that on June 7th, May 7th? No, we should not. Like, that's not the question. But what we can't do is allow this kind of thing to happen. And the culprit is somebody that is a strong and close ally of ours in Israel. She essentially said that.
Yeah.
So If I did not make that clear, I get it. It's Caps Lock Friday. Yes, and Fat Jesus types in all caps when you disagree with me. She played both sides of the Israel point, which, if honest, is where most Americans are. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think most people, are probably on the Israel side of it, but they also don't want innocent people dying.
Yeah. Glenn, nasty equals another dog whistle to his base. Exactly right. Whether it's her birth or her parents were born in Jamaica and India, and there's no way she can be a citizen.
Bro, like sitting here talking about this, I'm starting to realize this, and maybe I missed this, but it seems like we have a situation now where the professionalism of being a politician is starting to show. Like, we have one side with the Trump party that is like, hey, name calling, like petty, like we're going to go that route with it. And I feel like with the Harris side of it, she is going the more polished, professional, just going to talk about the issues. Like, I don't really feel like I've ever even, we see the campaign ad she's running about Donnie, obviously, but you don't really hear her saying, like, calling Donnie, like, names. She does say he's a felon, which he is, right now. So,
but she's got the Beyonce thing is bigger than you realize. The fact that Kamala Harris joined TikTok is bigger than you realize, because she's going after the millennial vote,
which is smart.
She's going after the Gen Y vote, bro. Like she's going after it, and you better respect it, because it's going to that 18-year-old voter.
Yeah.
That 22-year-old voter,
Gen Z,
that 34-year-old voter. I'm telling you, it's going to matter. Eric and Raleigh, Trump and Vance can't come close to matching Harris's record. JD Vance is a problem. And again, this is a Trump party guy who's never been a Trump guy. And they're just going to run that tape out repeatedly. And they're going to run the Catwoman tape out repeatedly.
And I just don't know how he gets away from it.
You don't.
I don't know how you get away from calling Donald Trump those things, and now all of a sudden Trump's the best thing you've ever seen.
You don't. Harry Austin. But can Trump move on from the last election where Bibi accepted the result? We're going to find out today. CKS, Trump's position on Israel is well known, but he has no power right now to dictate policy. Yeah.
Yeah.
RJ Seaman, hey, bro, I paid $50. Give me my props.
Okay, where did you pay $50, dude? Like, what are you talking about?
Follow the process.
Are you saying that you sent that to me, or like what? Like, I don't have anything from you.
Mike Smith, let's bring back the beautiful plan to boycott France and call them freedom fries. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, we created French fries, dude.
Trump is incapable of telling the truth. I do think there's something to that, which is, again, and we argue about this on the show all the time. Where are you getting your news from? Every day, I watch as many news outlets as I can. I read the New York Times. I read the New York Post. I try to read things like Reuters, AP. I try to read conservative outlets and liberal outlets. Like, you have to get both sides. And frankly, my wife doesn't want to hear any of it. She does not want to hear it.
How do you mean?
She doesn't want to watch politics at all.
Wow.
She's just not here for it. And it's tough to watch.
Well, and I think that if there was one saving grace of the election, at least we have a candidate with Harris who is a little bit more watchable. Like, I feel like with Biden and Trump, neither of them are watchable. And it's just so
you can't listen to Joe Biden speak.
Yeah.
You can't. And thankfully we won't have to, because he's going to be silent.
Yeah.
He cannot. Yeah. He's going to be. It should not be missed that it was not Joe Biden speaking about Israel. It was Kamala Harris for a reason. You did not send it to SLC Jake on Instagram. That's on you. Where did you send it?
Yeah, where did you send it? Like,
he has it on private.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
Like, what the hell does that mean, dude?
Eric and Raleigh, Trump is going to drop out and Vance will pick Nikki Haley as his VP.
Yeah,
I doubt that.
Yeah,
I doubt that. Mike Smith, if JD Vance is your presidential candidate, the race is over. The swing will be remarkable. It was not private for all the other people sending their picks. That's what I'm saying. Dude,
yeah, dude. Like, my
RJC,
Instagram's
man,
not private, bro.
You're a pain in the ass. You just can't. You're one of those guys who you just can't conform. Everybody else sends it to him on Instagram. You say you sent it, and are you saying that he blocks you? You always got some excuse for it, man. Like, I appreciate the donation. If you said you sent $50, man, I really appreciate that. It helps kids a lot. I really appreciate that. You're just that guy who it's just never right. We're always like, c'est la vie, my friend. Live your life. I wish you nothing but the best. But I'm not here for difficulty, man. And a key inflation metric was reported today to be 2.5%, close to the Fed's 2% target. Exactly right. WTF was leaning on a vote for Trump, but that Vance guy scares me and scares a lot of people. And JD Vance, did you guys see his approval or likability factor? Is minus 5%. That's wild to me. People don't like the guy because he's not likable. He's awkward. He can't speak. Notice he has not given another rally. It's awkward.
Yeah.
He's awkward. It's funny how Trump supporters go through mental gymnastics to get around Donnie's controversial comments, like the poorly educated comment, dude.
Well, and that's the funny thing. Like, we had that guy earlier who came in here talking about how, people voted for Biden and all yada, yada, yada. And now we haven't heard from him since.
Oh, boy. Breaking news from Brett McMurphy.
Oh, boy.
Georgia wide receiver Ra Thomas has been arrested on 2 counts of battery and 1 count of cruelty to children.
Bro.
According to Dogs HQ. Oh, boy. Oh, man. How has Kirby had so many off-field issues?
Well, I think the better question is, how does Kirby get away with it? Like, the excuse of, because he said, well, it's the collective's job. They're enabling these kids. But, dude, isn't it your job to make men? Like, isn't that what the whole point is?
Yeah. Last comment from RJC, man. 2 holes check Twitter.
Yeah.
It's not Twitter.
Like,
We've talked about this. I don't read DMs and I don't read notifications on Twitter. So if you sent it to his Twitter, I'm assuming you didn't send it to mine. I have no idea. We're not going to see that. We specifically told you, send it to Instagram. Case in point. Robert Lambert. Why would legal or more so illegal immigrants openly commit crime? If you're trying to live here, well, the point is, you don't care about the country is the point. What the Trump party's trying to say is that you're lawless. You come to our country to, I believe Trump has used the words rape and pillage. And then you go and you are never convicted. And that's why the story of the New York cops beating up these what appear to be migrants, and then having it spun on Fox News as the migrants attack the cops. And then the wide shot comes out and they were walking down the sidewalk and the cops grabbed this guy and it turned into a huge brawl. Like, you're the belief that what you're doing when you paint this picture of a wave of migrant crime, you're painting these people as evil, angry, violent folks. I don't believe you paint people in a broad brush. I don't believe that most people are like, let's go to the US and murder people and rape their women. I don't think that's happening. Are there migrants who come in and rob and steal? Yes. Yes, there are. All people do that. Legals do that. Natural born citizens do that. Tourists do that. It's not, well, these dirty, dastardly, violent migrants, they're illegals. Dog whistle. Dog whistle. Most young people are supporting Palestine right now. Interesting, in Boston, we saw a huge rally for Palestine. I think that it's a different show. I think choosing a side in Gaza is siding with evil. There's no right side. If you're, the problem is we spin everything. So if you're choosing Palestine, you're siding with Hamas. If you're choosing Israel, you're siding with a war criminal. Because we can't have a conversation.
Yeah.
Calford, Kamala with the teachers union yesterday focused on how Trump wants to get rid of the Department of Education and gun violence, expecting teachers to pack heat rather than changing gun policies.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, she really hit hard on they want you to bring your guns to school. They want to arm teachers instead of addressing the root cause of the problem. And the teachers ate it up. Teachers don't want to carry guns. They don't. All Harris needs now is a Taylor Swift endorsement.
I think all jokes
She
aside,
did not.
Do figures like Taylor Swift ever get involved in stuff like this?
Beyonce is involved.
Yeah. But
Beyonce gave Kamala Harris, for those who didn't hear it, her Freedom song is Kamala Harris's theme song. And it's funny, my wife brought up a great point. Who do you want to give you free license to their music, Kid Rock or Beyonce? I'm going to say Beyonce.
Yeah.
The quite literal poster child for strong black women in this world is Beyonce. And she now is giving Kamala Harris free license to use her song as her campaign theme song. That's a huge endorsement. I think Beyonce resonates beyond the black community. And I think there's this belief that now every black woman in the country is going to vote for Kamala Harris. That's not true. Number one. Number two, I think Beyonce is a strong woman who's also black.
Yeah.
And I think people like Beyonce, people like Taylor Swift, who I don't believe has actually endorsed Kamala Harris. I think that's a lie. That was floated out for the last week or so. But they have sway with their fans. And it's why it's so important that Beyonce made it so publicly known that she endorses Kamala Harris using that Freedom song on a free license that would have been tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
She would have charged you every time you play that song. And on the flip side of that, you have all of these artists saying, no, Donald, you cannot use my song. Don't ever play my song again. Like claiming copyright because he wasn't asking their permission. He was just playing the music. So it's a big difference.
Yeah.
A big, big difference, in my opinion. If that happens, Brandon, Kamala will win in a heartbeat. I would agree disagree that it started with Trump, Tanner. It started when SM really took off and gave US the platform to just say anything without personal attachment, social media.
Yeah.
There's no accountability on. Again, I don't read my DMs and I don't read my notifications on Twitter because it's a shit show.
Yeah.
It's not personal. It's not personal. It's not personal. Kim Coulter, I love your show and will always support your charitable endeavors and your right to discuss whatever you desire, but your chat room is pure hatred. I don't believe that our chat room is pure hatred.
Yeah.
I think you get a lot of diverging opinions. Ferris Khan, 40K innocent people died in Gaza. That is a huge number. Young people can see that clearly. Harris has to work hard to get their votes. They were apathetic until now. The Gaza thing's real. I think this meeting with Netanyahu today for Donald Trump, and what we're seeing is the Kamala Harris from 2020 and the debates, and that's not the same gal. She's not the same person. She is an experienced, now well-polished speaker who I thought hit the nail on the head with her Netanyahu press statement yesterday. And she didn't release a statement. She stood in front of cameras and made the statement. So I think this is a real issue. And if you don't embrace that, the ghost of Gumby, guys, it was actually the Belgians who created French fries. Exactly right. Oh, look at that. Harry Austin, a new member of the show. Harry, appreciate you. Fat Jesus says, RJC man, why can't we have nice things? Dude, it's not difficult. Send it on Instagram. And again, if you made a $50 donation, I appreciate you doing that. Thank you for that. Every dollar counts. Every dollar counts. I think that's it.
Cool.
Great week. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for donating to the Advocates. All of their initiatives are so publicly and community based. Why support the Advocates? Be safe this weekend, but if the worst happens, you can chat with an injury attorney 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. If you get hurt on your bicycle this weekend, a motorcycle, a car, slip and fall, any injury situation, workman's comp, the Advocates are ready, willing, and able to help you. Don't trust your insurance company, please. Call the Advocates. Get online. Chat with an injury attorney for free, theadvocates.com. Until Monday, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.